Larry Ellison, he's on Team King.
And I think
Team
it's perfect that y'all are on that side, and this is where Jake gonna have the disclaimer the whole debate.
I think it's funny
because I'm gonna look at y'all as the same, and every time I say it, Jake's gonna say he's not my kind of white.
Yeah. He's peak white. Man.
We're not both white.
Yeah,
but that does represent.
We wouldn't marry each other's children to each other.
Correct.
Us peak whites don't. Us peak whites don't like to interact.
Would you marry your daughter to one of those?
I wouldn't marry with you guys anyway either. I like
You're
racial purity. Exactly.
And it's interesting because you're Ashkenazi, right?
I am Ashkenazi, yeah.
So you can't be an Israelite then.
Well,
in Genesis, the 10th chapter, Ashkenaz come from Japhet. They don't come from Shem.
So we, as Ashkenazi Jews, identify with the region that we were exiled to. So at the time, before even Berlin was a city, there was a kingdom there called Ashkenaz, one of the original 70 kingdoms.
Now he's going to talk about the origin that he stole.
And the Talmud,
he stole the Israelite
the
origin.
Talmud actually goes into great detail about King Solomon sending 400 families from the time of Benjamin.
So link
the
is in the
first ever
chat,
outpost in
Ashkenaz.
Ashkenaz.
Video. Talmud, though. The Talmud,
why can't you trust the Talmud?
That's where you get the mitzvah pay. That's where you get where you're sucking on the baby penis.
Do you know? Did you read it in the Talmud, or did you just read like an little excerpt from the Talmud?
How they perform it, but mitzvah pay is in the Talmud.
It's called Mefitzah pay.
You can pronounce
can
it.
Can we all agree that should
but
be?
It doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't even have Mefitzah pay for me, and it's not like
I don't believe you.
Well, that's not for me to care about. I don't care. You know, I'll tell you one thing that like sometimes it's crazy because like I'll like seriously drop a truth bomb on people and they'll be like, I don't believe you. You must have been your penis sucked as a baby.
I'll take your word for it.
When you grew up, did you grow up? What type of Judaism was it? Messianic, non-Messianic, Orthodox, unorthodox? How did you grow up?
So I grew up as probably assimilated as possible.
No. I'm not talking about like once you got older. I'm talking about
when I grew up.
Your family were they Orthodox?
I'll give you my background. So I'm the 5th generation Jew on both sides of my family from Los Angeles, which is literally unheard of. In the Bible, God says he's going to exile you to the 4 corners of the land.
That's not you guys, though. We're not on that. I just want to know
Ashkenazi Jews, just so you know, like we literally went to London, South Africa,
you did not.
Sydney, Australia, and Los Angeles, the 4 corners of the land. It's very interesting that the Bible. No, I'm telling you, I'm from Los Angeles.
The 4 corners is us. So,
well, you might have gone to Los Angeles also. Did you guys build an Eruv?
Russia. So, for example, when you talk about Russia, you can get a book called The Russian Icons, and when you see the images of the Israelites there, they're black. When you talk about Europe and what they call the Dark Ages, you can see where black people ruled Europe. When you talk about Africa, you can see our transition.
Jake, the black people ruled Europe.
In my opinion, no.
I mean, like, that's news to me.
This is why I say y'all the same white. That's why it's good for
No, he was like the host.
You called on him for help. Like you called on. This is what Jewish people do. What you just did.
Well, I mean, like
what Jewish people do when they ask Trump for help in the war.
I'm being neutral because
you couldn't beat me in the debate, so you ran to your dad.
I'm gonna have your back on some things.
So basically,
I'm just sharing my honest opinion.
The only time that blacks ever had any sort of rulership.
I'm just glad that
okay, let me answer you then. Let me answer you like a scholar would. Okay.
The only
time that I know if blacks had any sort of rulership in Europe were the Moors of Spain.
Why did they call them swarthy? Why did they call them the Douglases?
This is like news to me.
Why did they call one of the kings
all of a sudden? What's that show on Netflix?
It shows all the people black.
Yeah.
Why did they call one of the kings Black Boy?
I don't know the name of the show.
It's like Upton Alley or something.
I found that interesting that the brother just said the only time that he's familiar with any time of black people being in a position of power was the Spain and Iberian Peninsula, right? The Moors before Spain. He must not be familiar with the Empire of Ghana, Songhai, Mansa Musa, the Egyptian Empire. So I'm saying, like, wait, is he saying Egypt wasn't black? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes you got to catch these Jewish people in what they're talking about. But the whole Africa was black.
The king's black boy. Why did Ben Franklin say we don't want America to be black like Europe was? They make these statements because that's what it was. Benjamin Franklin made that statement.
Is what?
Yeah, that we don't want America to be black like Europe. That's what they said.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're telling me the time of Napoleon Bonaparte, Europe was like black?
Yes. When we say black, like you see, like America is predominantly white, but there's other ethnicities, of course, in America. So I'm not saying there's no white people there. There's no other type of people, but we were ruling. And it's just as simple as when
you're
Rome
saying during
fell,
You think they were like
Bonaparte.
the primary rule?
Yeah,
it's
like,
not.
so
It's
like
not
when
a private
Rome-
debate today.
right.
obviously,
Hold on,
but-
Benjamin Franklin, though, right?
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin.
So
anybody can
Benjamin
look that up.
Franklin was a contemporary, roughly, of Napoleon Bonaparte, right?
Okay.
So, but Napoleon Bonaparte a little bit even before.
We all the paintings.
So the question that I have to you, during the time of Napoleon Bonaparte, you're saying that black people were ruling in Europe.
Yeah, black people were in power.
In Europe.
Just like you
Ruling.
can have.
What is that show called?
So as
You know what I'm saying?
America, as America as a country
Oh, my
had
phone.
what's called a black president for a time, even though white
Who
people
was our
were
first black
dominant.
president? It
Well,
wasn't
so
Barack.
let me say it differently.
Obama's Jewish.
African American.
Obama's Jewish?
Just kidding.
No, Obama is African, so I wouldn't say black
He's
because
okay.
we're not African.
You guys
Who
do
was the
yourself
first
differently.
black
correct?
Yeah, we're
president?
definitely different.
It's a general.
Who was
We
the
haven't
first-
had a black president.
You
in
said there
America.
was a first black,
Yeah,
a secret black president.
I didn't use secret.
No, I'm asking
that's,
you.
That's what
I'm trying to
correct.
get you to define it because I'm
Black
fascinated by
black
this
sounds
story.
good for you guys,
Yeah.
but for us to be ethnically correct,
Yeah.
Obama has an African father and a white mother. So for us, he's not one of our people.
Right. You
So
know, I agree with you there. I don't like the term black or white. I think like it's completely ethnically incorrect, and it like the world is so much more diverse
I don't like the term
than
Jewish.
black
either,
and
though.
white. Well, two are colors and one is an ethnicity. So
Jewish is not an ethnicity though.
How about, like,
Jewish is
Yehuda?
wait, hold up.
or
Jew-
Judah.
Wait. Jewish is not an ethnicity.
Judah is the
Jewish-
family.
I didn't say Judah. I said Jewish.
Jewish is Judish.
Jewish is religion, because in Jewish,
But I
you're
can't be
an
a Jew, though.
Israelite by your mother. Ethnically, you're an Israelite by your father. That's why y'all won't do the DNA test, because if y'all
Well,
start
we
taking
have-
that DNA test, you're gonna see a lot of y'all are not the Jews. We are the Jews.
I don't do
That's
the
why it's illegal.
I'll tell you, I personally don't do the DNA
'Cause
test
you
because
don't
I don't
wanna
want
get the truth
China to
either.
have my genetics.
Or-
But my
Nah,
my parents took the
That is
DNA
not what-
test.
Wait, but that is not
I can tell
what-
you about my
that
parents'
is what-
DNA test.
That's not what Israel says.
Hold up. In my parents' DNA
Mm-hmm.
test, my mother says 100% Ashkenazi Jew. It's unbelievable. They have an
100% white.
actual
Why aren't
genetic.
those allowed?
Why-
They
to
have
why
an
doesn't it say-
actual genetic marker. And my mother is a Bas Kohen, which means that she's an Ashkenazi
she's
Jew
not.
from the tribe of a descendant of Aaron the priest. My
How
grandfather.
could,
my,
that don't even make sense. to
it
be-
does, though.
No, it doesn't. How can
Well,
you
to you,
be,
it doesn't because
how
you're not
can-
Jewish.
Because how can you be Ashkenaz and Shemitic?
I'll tell you. Because
Ashkenaz is a Japhetic tribe.
it's like,
So think about what you. Hold on.
I'll
one
tell
second.
you. I'll
Wait,
explain it to
before
you.
before you answer. Think about what you're saying. When you talk about DNA, you talk about genetic markers.
yeah.
So if you marry the DNA of the science with the genetic marker, with the Bible, when the Lord divided the nations in Genesis 10 and 32,
To 70 nations.
when the Lord divided the nations,
Yes,
in
there's
Genesis
a kingdom
10,
of Ashkenaz.
When you talk, I know you're trying to distract.
Yeah, let him finish.
So
then
when the
you can go
Lord
up in it.
divided the nations in Genesis 10 and 32, the Japhetic line had their own line, so they would
Mhm.
have their own genetic markers.
Yeah.
Shemitic line have their own lines. They
Mhm.
would have their own genetic markers. So if you take a DNA test that says you go back to Ashkenaz, that's a different family line than the family line that the Israelites come from. So you can't be from the family line of Shem and the family line of Japhet genetically if you believe in the Bible, because the Lord divided them.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
Can I respond?
Yes.
So I'm not descended at all from Japhet. The
You said your
kingdom
mama
of,
is though.
No, hold on. Listen to me. I'll explain. My line of Ashkenazi, when my claim of Ashkenazi is like the same of how I say I'm an American Jew. Like I put America before Jew. It was the kingdom that I'm living in and before, and as a Jewish person. So it's like being an American Jew. But in the time that at the time that the Ashkenazi Jewish community was established, The very first Ashkenazi Jewish community was established by King Solomon as an embassy outpost, and he had 400 families from the tribe of Benjamin go there. And actually, Berlin is a Jewish city. It was founded by Jews 1,800 years ago.
I think you're missing what you said out of your
Because
mouth.
before, hold on,
said,
listen. Before Germany was even a nation or a conception, there was once something called the Kingdom of Ashkenaz. Now, when the Romans destroyed us and carried us into captivity, the Kingdom of Ashkenaz was still a thing.
But what you're doing now is you're spinning from what you said. You did all that history and word salad, but you said when your mom took a DNA test, so now you got into genetics. Genetics is not that migration. So when you say Ashkenaz, and then we look in the Bible in Genesis, the 10th chapter, and Ashkenaz come from Japhet. You can't have Japhetic DNA and Shemitic DNA. You gotta have one or the other.
I'll tell you, it's kind of like this Tartarian thing, you know?
Wait, before you say that. So like when black people go get their DNA, if their DNA traces, for the most part, it'll say they came from like the west coast of Africa or something like that. And then they got like E1, B1 markers. You got L markers and stuff like that. So there's genetic markers that they say make up white people, genetic markers that they say make up black people, Chinese people.
Too much.
Live stream. Hold on, we're cutting the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want too much.
Wait,
All right,
you-
hold
you
on, hold
wanna
on.
Announce it.
We're gonna
Hey, man, we
save
gonna
this.
clip
it.
The
We'll be
rest
up
of
next
this
week.
conversation is Jake's
Yeah,
conversation.
I'll be up next week. So you want for the podcast?
Jake, give
That's
a plug
right.
for your podcast. We're about to go
Right
live.
back there. We're watching
You gotta
there. It'll be
watch
out
it.
next week.
It's
Yeah.
out.
We're about
next
to get a
week.
lot hotter too. I got
Yeah.
some good questions
It's gonna
coming.
be good.
Turn up.
I'm about
And
to turn this
We're
shit up.
gonna. Nobody's beating the
I
shit
told
out
him,
of
I
anybody.
told him I'm not going to help if he starts beating
because
his
it's
ass.
been live. Your ass would be on camera.
I'm not fighting 5 black dudes.
Your ass
Five
would be
black
on
dudes.
camera. Motherfuckers. Are
I don't
stupid.
like you that much.
Okay. Anyways,
But
thank
wait,
God
wait,
Jake's
one,
here.
maybe.
UFC champion
That's right.
is in the room, so
That's right.
nobody's
There's like
beating
5 of them,
anybody's
bro. Sorry.
asses.
I
Yeah,
said,
no, I mean,
I'd be
intellectually,
impressed
not
if he
physically.
Jackie Chan'd everybody in the room.
we're
I
not
think
gonna
he's
fight.
still
Physically,
We're not
capable.
going to fight.
You know, I'll say this.
We're not going to fight.
No, God forbid. But I'll
It's
say
not
this.
physically,
I want to
it's
say this
mentally.
live before I tune off so that my audience can hear it.
Okay. What do you want to say?
I get
You
a
always
lot of
trying to
these.
get extra.
Uh-huh.
I got
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah,
always.
because my Jewish in me, I'm always
Yeah.
trying to get
Get
that
you the
extra.
extra couple minutes.
I got a lot of my Jewish fighters and UFC fighters in the DMs that always hit me up. They're like, "Oh, I want to fight Jake. I want to fight Jake." I
I'm
just
here.
want to say right here, this guy right here is like so next level in the ring. Don't do that, guys.
Yeah, I'll fight any Jew.
You're gonna make us look
The
bad.
Jews, when I
This
do
guy
Jews,
is
they're
like
they're I
five-time
wanna be a
champion.
anti-Semites. I'm like,
He's
I'm right here.
older. He's like older than all of you, and I still
Any
think
white
he would
Jew,
win.
any white
Right.
Jew.
I would put
Right.
my money
Some of your
on
brother Jews
Jake
might be
if
tough.
you guys tried to do that. So, hey, tune in. Fight Back
Come on,
Podcast
man.
is
Hurry
going to be
up,
dope.
man.
Fuck, see the Jewish. He's trying to steal my
Was you even
podcast.
live?
Boom.
There you go.
Stop
I'm
broadcast.
feeling Jewish. I'll let you use this for your channel after I air it.
Dude, I'm
Thank
gonna use it. I'm gonna rip it.
Yeah, but let's get our shit going
Yeah.
now.
So
We're good.
now, so when you
we're
start
good.
mixing the genetic markers
Yeah.
and saying that you could be one genetic marker and another genetic marker, a person that has E1B1 in their DNA can't also have another E1B1 or an L marker. It's either one or the other. That's why they'll tell you the paternal line for your DNA never changes. So even women, when they go for their DNA, they can't pull their father's DNA because they don't have that genetic material.
Yeah.
So if your mom has Ashkenazi, she can't have 2 mixtures of DNA. That's genetically impossible.
So in the Jewish tradition, my
See, that's why I
mother's.
said
I'm
Jewish
letting
is
you
not
tell you.
biblical.
Listen, no, you got to let me finish. I'm trying to explain it to you, but
Yeah.
like I gotta like tone it down a little bit.
Can you
'cause
use the
you're not getting
Bible
it.
or Torah?
I could use the Bible if you
No,
want
what I
me to
mean,
explain it in the Bible.
no. Now you're saying you got to go into it, but when you identifying who a Jew is or who
Yeah.
an Israelite is, the Bible supersedes either one of us, right? You
Yeah.
would agree.
Totally.
So you would have to show in the Bible where you're a Jew by your mom.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, good.
I could do that today.
You
I
guys
actually brought.
Both only believe in the Old Testament.
Yeah,
Well, I
brought-
believe in the Old and New
I
Testament.
brought a lot of
He
my
believes in the
lineage
Old
with me.
Testament.
Actually, like
You believe both.
I
Yeah, I
brought
believe
I brought
both.
a chunk of my lineage with me.
But can you just demonstrate in the Bible
Yeah, I
how
can.
you're a Jew by your mother?
I can.
Okay, good. Do it.
So my mother is what's called a Bas Kohen. Now, a Bas Kohen is the most coveted bloodline in all of Israel. It's the priest line. So there's all sorts of rules that govern like the Bas Kohen, the daughter of the priest, and also the son of the priest. Like he can only marry specific bloodlines. He can't. He can marry he can't marry converts, but like he can marry any of like
So certain Jews are better
Well,
than
can't
others.
nobody marry a
Ashkenazis
convert.
when it comes. So when it comes to the
best, and then-
temple,
so it's
Well,
like,
nobody
so
no,
it's
not
like-
even
Well, he has to
Ashkenazim.
marry-
Hold on, not even Ashkenazim. When it comes to
You
the
can't marry any
when it
convert.
comes to the tribe, the Kohen, we've like separated this DNA strand out of our
That's
tribe.
not true.
It's called the Kohen gene. Yeah, we have it.
He's like the Jeffrey
My
Epstein
grandfather
trying to do
had the
super
Kohen gene. My grandfather, there's a
that's why they
specific
banned the DNA. 'Cause
there's a
that's
specific
lie,
Y
what they're
chromosome marker in
Uh-huh.
the ancestry test
saying.
that finds a Kohen gene. Now, my grandfather, when he was alive, Allah Shalom, of blessed memory, he had the Y chromosome indicator of the Kohen
Based
gene
on who? Who said that?
based on the collective group of based
So
on
now I find this interesting when he shares. So I'll show, because when he mentions this Kohan gene, right? We find this Kohan in the Limba people. So when I'm like, wait a minute, the Limba have the Kohan gene as well, right? So this is a specific Y chromosome signature linked to the Jewish priestly lineage, the Kohanim. Genetic studies found this marker in significant numbers among the Limba men, especially the Bubak line, over 50%, aligning with the oral traditions of descent from Jewish priests who traveled from the Middle East. So we see here that the Limba have extreme high marks, this Kohan gene within them. So does that mean that they're actually Levitical priests and descendant from the Levites? Who knows? But according to this Jewish brother Adam here, within their Jewish culture, the Kohan gene is very significant, right? Very significant. It links them to Leviticus, the Levites.
based on the collective group in our family lineages that are extremely well traced. Like we have written books of our family lineages that are extremely well written down.
That go back to
The Ashkenazi,
right?
no, that go back to King David. Actually, 90% of Ashkenazi Jews are descended of King
That's
David.
cap.
No, it is. It's
No,
true.
it's not. 'Cause
Absolutely,
David's
it's true.
line would come from Shem. We would
I
have
could-
that same.
I could
DNA
show
problem.
you.
I
could
could
show
show
you.
both of you.
But he didn't never answer my question though. You're supposed to demonstrate how you're a Jew according to your mother in the Bible. or
So
Torah.
the way that the Torah works is that it used to be by the father up until the first exile.
you have to show that.
During the time of that's in the Talmud. During the time of the first exile,
Mhm.
during the time of
Mhm.
listen, the Talmud is like this massive encyclopedic volume of knowledge.
Mhm.
For you to just discount it is a sign of ignorance.
It's not about discounting it. When I'm saying
Then what
It's
does
not
your
about-
mean?
my is you can't change what God said. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are all 12 men. There is no tribe of Dinah, right? There is no tribe of no women.
Do you
when
know
you
where
say
Dinah?
you're-
Do
when
you know
when
where
you say-
Dinah? Do you know where Dinah is
Don't-
found? Her
don't-
lineage,
don't
actually.
don't separate.
No, well,
so
you're making a claim. In
There's
the
not
Bible,
a
I
tribe
wanna-
of Dinah.
Dinah married into the tribe of Joseph. Actually,
It doesn't. Once she married a man,
her daughter
not-
Osnat married Ephraim.
that's fine. I didn't say that she didn't marry nobody.
I'm
But
just
there's
saying,
no
like you
tribe
don't
of
know the
Dinah.
lineage.
So Ephraim, Manasseh.
Why do I know the
Gad,
lineage,
Naphtali,
but you don't know
Benjamin,
the lineage? If you're
Levi,
the Jew and I'm not,
all of them, because what you're saying, the still doesn't give a tribe of Dinah.
okay. I
All
want to
you're
ask
saying-
you a question.
Wait. I just want for the record. He cannot show any book, chapter, verse
I will
that
right
you're
now.
a Jew according to your mother.
I
He
will
has to
right
go
now.
to the
Divrei
Talmud, which
Hayamim.
is not the
Nope.
Bible.
I'm going to tell you right now. Divrei Hayamim, the Book of Chronicles. We're going to go down a rabbit hole in the Book of Chronicles.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the term the Reish Galuta from the Bible? It's in the Mikra. It's in this Bible.
Mhm.
The first Reish Galuta. Do you know what his name was?
What's his name?
His name is Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel.
What's the scripture you going to in Chronicles?
Zerubbabel is the grandson of Tzidkiyahu Melech Yehuda.
Mm-hmm. You talk about
The
Zerubbabel.
Yeah, his
Mhm.
name is Zerubbabel.
There's no V's in the original Hebrew. That's
Zerubbabel.
something y'all
There
changed
is.
when you
There's a
bastardized.
bet and a
The
vet.
V came later. There's no
All right.
V's in the
So
original
you read Hebrew?
I wouldn't put myself as a scholar on it.
I'm a scholar of Hebrew.
But I know that there's no V's. There was no
Where did I
V's.
get Hebrew from? Is it an African language? Where did I learn it? If
Well,
it's not,
Hebrew-
if it's not the
Well,
language
who
of
is
the Bible,
Hebrew?
At the advantage.
I didn't
Who's
say
at the
Hebrew wasn't
disadvantage
a
here?
language in the Bible.
so then why do I know it? Why was
I said
it?
that bastardized
Why-
version of Hebrew that you guys have?
Why? How?
Like even like
So in the discussion, right, and and this is surprising to me that Captain Cesario, who's a Hebrew Israelite, doesn't know Hebrew. And the reason that he says that is because he's actually in front of someone who actually does, right? So like when he's around us in the Black community, we think he knows how to speak Hebrew. When he gets in front of somebody who actually knows how to speak it, he says he doesn't, right? So I just wonder who's at the disadvantage or at the advantage if you're having a conversation about Hebrew and one person actually speaks it and writes it and reads it and the other person doesn't.
when
How do you
talk-
know that it's bastardized if you don't even know what Hebrew
Because
is?
Hebrew became bastardized when we went into the first
But
captivity.
then why don't you speak
You got to
Hebrew?
hear the answer. You got to hear the answer.
Let's do
Okay.
something a little technical for a second.
Oh,
I know
okay.
some of the people. This shit's great. But
Oh,
let's
okay.
hit something a little more,
Okay.
because some of the audience
Yeah.
gonna get confused here. I
Okay,
think.
no
So we some
problem.
shit. There's something I stumbled across. I found really interesting.
Yeah.
Through Bible verses.
Okay.
Sorry to change directions. I know this stuff is
No,
some
no,
of the
no
details.
problem.
Some of the audience might get lost. Some of this
Mhm.
shit. This was. Let me try these verses because they were kind of it threw me off a little bit. Something about the Jews. It wasn't said. Let me see if I find it. Jeremiah. There's a couple different verses. 17:14 says Israelis would serve enemies in a land they know not, losing their heritage.
What verse are you reading again?
It says Jeremiah 17:4.
Oh, okay,
Saying
okay.
Israelis would serve enemies in a land they know not, losing their heritage. And that, to me, I'm trying to be neutral, but that was like, whoa, that was one. I'm gonna have things for both sides, but that seemed to
Right.
definitely favor the black people, because black people were taken,
Right.
serving an enemy in a land they don't know. There
Right.
was one more that was very similar. It was the other one that was
That's actually a good scripture. It says, and even
that was
thou
shocking
shalt
when it-
discontinue thine heritage.
oh, here, listen to this one.
Mhm.
How do you say that? Deuteronomy 28 it says Israelis will be scattered by ships to serve enemies in a land they know not, with iron yokes
All
on their
right.
necks.
People sent me these things.
And I
Yeah, has that happened to you guys?
I mean, like we went through the Holocaust, not on ships, but I mean,
Okay, but if this says we shall be brought into Egypt again with ships and sold for bondmen and bondwomen, that didn't happen to y'all in the Holocaust. And it says no man shall buy you or redeem you. So y'all were redeemed actually. When the Holocaust happened, they had World War I, World War II, and they redeemed you guys. Then they displaced the Palestinians for you guys.
do you think that like all of everything that's happened, like there's like no blessing from God? There's like,
No, before we get to that part, I just want to see how, because
well, I just think that
Jake
question
brought the
asked was
scriptures.
pretty-
Yeah.
do you want to
the
go
whole-
into it? Let's
Yeah,
go
the
into
Jer-
it.
I
Scripture, let's read
no,
it.
to me, I found
I
that
will,
very
I will,
interesting.
I will.
It
Let's
said
read it.
there was two of them. I
Yeah,
think.
Okay,
Jeremiah
I'm gonna
17
answer.
and 4.
I'm gonna
Jeremiah
answer.
17 and 4 first.
I
Okay, we're
just
gonna
found that
start
very
with Jeremiah
interesting.
17:1.
Right.
17:4. It says
The sin of Judah is inscribed with an iron pen,
Mm-hmm.
with a hard metal fingernail, etched into the tablet of their heart, into the corners of your altars.
Mm-hmm.
As they remember their children, so they remember their altars and their Asherah trees, besides leafy trees and upon lofty hills. O idolaters on the mountains in the field, your
you don't
wealth,
need to read the whole Bible.
all your
Yeah.
treasure. You do actually. You
I
do.
mean,
no,
well,
you
very
do. You do.
sincerely-
You do. You need to know for
No, it just
content.
says I'm taking to
Hold
a
on, I'm
land
at
that
number
lose their
3. I'm
heritage.
at number 3. I'm at number
All
3.
right.
He said you ain't got to
Your wealth, all your treasure shall you make into booty
Right.
because of your high places made in sin throughout your boundaries. You will
Verse
be
4.
forced to withdraw from your heritage that I have given you,
Mhm.
and I will enslave you to your enemies in a land that you knew not,
Mhm.
for you have ignited a fire in my wrath, and it will burn forever.
So did that
That's
happen to you
crazy.
guys?
I mean, the way that I see that is like, look at
Yeah, but
we've
that
been
did
like the
happen to black
nation
people.
Yeah,
builder.
it happened to us.
They
We've
lost
been the
their
nation
heritage, they're
builders
taken
of
away.
the world. I mean,
No,
like
this
we
ain't
have.
talking about
But yeah,
nation
Jews
building.
never
This
got
is talking
I don't know.
about-
It says the
This is talking
servants of
about
the.
this is talking about discontinuing.
that.
From
No,
your
that verse kind of
heritage.
shocked me when I
All
found
right.
that.
That
Yeah,
is
and let me
interesting.
tell you something. What's
That's
interesting
it.
about it is because the only people that
Very
have
interesting,
discontinued from their
Tazaria.
heritage is us. And you
No,
can
the
always
Jews were
tell
all-
when they
the
get
Jew-
a little
we were
hot for
uprooted
him
from. We were
when he
uprooted from.
interrupts. You can always tell
We're
when they
taken
get
to a
hot for
land
him.
far away. The Jews never
We
lost
was
their
taking-
heritage either. They
they
literally
never
they
lost
literally
their
lost their
heritage.
heritage. Don't know.
He just
Like,
said
you don't know what
he
country.
could trace his back 5, 6 generations to some Ashkenazi.
Thousands of
Now,
years.
so how did you discontinue
I'll
if you
show
can
you.
trace it?
I'll
But
show
when you
you.
ask black people
There's
if they can trace
My
their
lineage, I
heritage,
could
they
trace
can't.
it back,
Let me
and it
finish.
doesn't go to
Just let me finish.
Khazaria.
Let me finish. So now,
Khazaria.
when it says you would discontinue from your heritage, we did. Our heritage was discontinued.
Okay, so maybe
we
you.
went into bondage
All
on
right.
ships. We were sold for bond men and bond women. You guys were never sold for bond men and bond women. We were never redeemed. You were redeemed when the
There
entire
was a
earth
thing,
went to
I'll
war
tell
for
you.
y'all. So how
There
do
was.
if the listen,
I
if
will.
the Bible is true, and for our disobedience, the children of Israel gets punished for it, and you claim to be the children of Israel, how come we went through what you saying you are the people of?
I'll explain it
in
to
a
you.
land they know not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I want
There's another
to.
one.
Do you
Just
understand my
Deuteronomy
question?
28. There's another one.
So hold
Yeah,
on
I'm trying to
before.
find
Let me
something. I'm
answer
gonna get
this
something
question.
answered.
Yeah,
Do you,
let
un-
me
do
answer.
you understand my
Yeah,
question?
yeah,
What's
I
my,
do.
Can you just repeat my question?
Hold on. Let me just try to answer it. I'll do it quick, and then if I don't, you can ask
Okay.
it again.
All right.
So, like when we were taken as slaves to Rome after the destruction of the temple, we were literally put in cuffs. There's an entire mitzvah. You're like not even listening to me.
I
You
am
don't want to.
listening. I see
You're
you a
just-
little touchy.
Were the Jews?
My ears don't affect.
Were
my
the Jews?
direction.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you.
Were the Jews carried off in bondage, in chains to Rome?
You would have to show me what you're talking about.
I mean, Josephus is like.
Did they
Because-
lose? But they
Is
never lost their
Josephus a real
heritage.
book?
Did they ever go in?
Is Josephus a real book?
Did they go in ships?
Yeah,
Were
actually, they
sold
did.
for
Land
bond
they
men
know
and
not.
bond
They
women?
did. Rome.
the land
They
that
sailed.
neither thou nor
They
thy
sailed
fathers
the
have known.
slaves back to
To-
Rome
They knew
from
Rome, though.
Jerusalem.
I
They
think
knew
losing
Rome,
their
though.
heritage.
I'm just saying,
it
did happen.
This just said.
I'm
you
just
gonna
saying
go
it
to
did
a land
happen.
That your fathers
And they
have
were
not
slaves.
known.
And there's this mitzvah called
Like, you're
Pidyon
not answering
HaNefesh.
the question.
Okay, hold on. In the 5 books of Moses,
You
there's
what
6.
we call windmilling.
No,
It's
I'm
called
not.
Windmilling.
I'm not. I'm teaching you how to be a Jew.
No,
This-
you
this is
cannot.
why-
I will,
this is
I will,
why
let
have
me-
the Jewish attorneys.
Okay,
the,
hold
the
on.
white-looking Jewish attorneys.
Yeah. Let me explain to
You're
you guys.
spinning behind the whole
Let me.
question.
Okay, then let me explain to you guys what the peak white understanding of the
Even
Bible
that's
is.
windmilling.
Okay, let me
'Cause you
just
wanna
talk.
Focus on peak white.
Let me talk, or I'll just windmill the whole show, man.
No,
let me
we're gonna
talk.
windmill together. I just want you to
Okay,
answer the question.
I am.
If you
I-
can't, if you
Let's
want
try
to
to do
just say,
a minute.
you know what
Hold
you
on,
can
you're
say?
trying to throw me off
Wait,
my
I'm gonna
train
just
of
tell you,
thought,
you know what
but
you
I'm
can
not going to
say?
go.
You know what? I can't
613
answer that
mitzvah.
question.
Taryag
Let's
mitzvah.
go to the
Taryag
next
mitzvah.
question.
Yeah, I
Taryag
think
mitzvah.
that's
Taryag
fair,
mitzvah. No, that's my answer. Taryag mitzvah. Taryag mitzvah. Taryag mitzvah. I've condensed my answer into 2 words. Taryag mitzvah. Taryag mitzvah. Taryag mitzvah. Can I explain what that is? Taryag
I just want you
mitzvah.
to answer the question.
I am. So in the Taryag mitzvah, the 613 laws that are given by Moses in the Bible, the first 5 books of the Bible, one of the mitzvahs is Pidyon HaNefesh. It means buying a slave from their captivity.
What if you could taste the movies?
We turned that idea into an $11.3 million business with Wix. One movie night, we were
During the time of the Roman exile, Pidyon HaNefesh was like being performed. Like there's great historical record in the Jewish tradition of that was the time that Pidyon HaNefesh was really performed in mass. They were buying Jews from slave markets left and right to try to redeem them from the slaveries that they were sold into in Rome after the destruction of the temple. It's extremely well documented in the Bible. It's extremely well documented in Josephus and other historical records. I don't know what to tell you. Like
But
the
that's not
Jews
answering
being
the
taken.
scripture.
But here, so let me give you another answer, right? So let's say that Jeremiah 17, like there is all these lost tribes of Israel, for example, right?
Who are they?
Could some have been?
I don't
from
know.
America?
This is why I choose to marry Ashkenaz, because I truly don't know, but I'll
Who?
tell you.
So you marry
Like
a tribe
there's
that's not an
my
Israelite.
best friend is getting married in February to one of the women from the tribe of Dan, right? This is their claim. They're Ethiopian. No, I'm for real. I'm for
There
real.
are Ethiopian Jews, yeah.
They're
Y'all
Ethiopian
reject,
Jews.
Y'all reject Ethiopian Jews.
No, he's Ashkenazi. He's
They don't
married.
feel- they don't
He's
feel
my
the
best
best.
friend.
Y'all
I'm going to this
sterilized
wedding.
them.
Hold
Y'all
on.
only like the Ashkenazi Jewish people. Y'all do not like the others.
Yo, my friend
I
is
remember
like,
when
so-
black people came
hold
over
on.
to
Can I
Israel.
answer before you LARP
We all
on me
both-
about
we
what
all
you
talk-
did?
you were talking
When
about
y'all, when black people came over and they went in Dimona, y'all put them where the nuclear power plant is.
I know it's crazy, right? It's like
That's how
a
much
good
y'all.
one.
That's how
No,
much
it's like,
y'all. That's how much y'all hate.
W Jews.
Yeah, that's how much y'all hate black
No,
people.
I'm just
And
telling
they-
you.
and
when
they
y'all
ster-
say-
they sterilize
I'm just
them, too.
joking. I'm just
You
joking. I'm
sterilize
just
them. You
joking.
make them fight
I'm
in the.
just
You make
joking.
them fight in the military. You make them fight in your wars. You're gonna expel them. Y'all do all those things.
No,
When
we
I went to-
don't.
you know, you
Just
asked
the
me
black
if I-
Hebrew Israelites live in
See
Dimona.
that?
The
See that?
Ethiopian Jews
You
don't
see
live
that?
in Dimona,
You see
though.
that?
They don't live in
But-
Dimona.
That's against Torah. Even if they weren't Israelites to y'all, in the Torah, how are you supposed to treat the strangers or converts? How are you supposed
You
to
know
treat
what? You're right.
How are you
we're
supposed to treat
supposed to
them?
treat them extremely respectfully.
them? So when you're not, that's how you know you're not.
well,
Because if you were, you would treat them the way that God said to treat them.
in my
But
book, you'll
instead,
see.
y'all treat them like the savages you are, because that's what you are. Whether it's the hand in slavery, whether it's the hand in banks, whether it's your gay lifestyle, you guys
I'm not
are
gay.
against God.
What are you talking about? No
If we go
homo,
to-
bro.
If we go to Tel
No
Aviv,
homo,
if we
bro.
go to Tel Aviv
He is,
right
he is
now,
against that stuff,
Yo,
at least.
have you ever been
But
to Jerusalem?
Jews do push.
Can I
out
tell
the
you-
gays.
Yeah,
can I
was-
tell you
yeah,
guys
I went-
you
I
don't.
went to
I want to
Jerusalem.
tell
Yeah,
you
I've been to
a
Jerusalem.
W win
We've all
moment for
been
the
to
world.
Israel.
A
Yeah,
W
we've all been
win
to
moment
Israel,
for the
yeah.
world, right? So I
Yeah.
lived in Jerusalem for a long time.
Right.
And there's one day of the year where all the Jews and all the Muslims and all the Christians
Uh-huh.
are like united in a solid front.
To do what?
One day a year.
To do what?
Otherwise, they're back
Gay
to their
pride?
religion. The Gay Pride Day.
Are you serious?
It's the one day that all the religious communities come
So you
together.
participate
proud
in
of
the
this?
gay?
No, dude, they fight them off together, bro. It's
Oh,
a
oh,
it's
I
a
know, I
base.
thought they were
It's a
celebrating.
base thing.
But
I'm
they're
gonna tell you-
celebrating.
No,
But
God
wait,
forbid,
I'ma
it's a
tell you
base
what's the
thing.
problem.
You get the
Celebrating it.
But I'ma
priests
tell you
coming
what-
out of the churches. You get the Islam
Right.
coming out of the mosques. You get the
Right.
Jews coming out of the shuls to say not in Jerusalem.
Yeah. What's
But
your guys'
wait.
thought on homosexuality? It's a
Well,
sin.
we hate. Yeah, that's
Okay.
a sin.
Yeah, we're all on the same
And
page
we
here.
wouldn't
Yeah,
allow
dude.
Tel
We're gonna cut
Aviv
that part
to
out of YouTube.
exist.
The
Tel
Bible
Aviv,
says.
Tel Aviv would not exist
Well, I'll
as
tell
a gay
you-
city. But because y'all are gay, that's why y'all let it.
Well,
and then you'll say,
we're not
"Oh,
gay.
we're not gay."
We're not
to
gay.
suck a little boy's penis, you're gay.
Okay, well, I'm not sucking a
That
little
is-
boy's
that-
penis,
that
and
is
nobody
extremely
sucks
gay.
my.
You agree with
The
that, Mark?
Orthodox
We don't-
priest said it's the
This guy
most
wants to, like-
sanitary way.
This guy wants to like
circumcise a kid. I've never
pontificate.
heard of that. I'm not.
It-
That's what he
this is
said
like
on
the
video.
one
That should be
thing.
illegal. Because
Okay,
that is
When
allowed
you
in
say
the
I
US.
want to pontificate, your rabbi.
Do you think that Mafitz Bepay is real? Hold on. Do you think that Mafitz Bepay is real?
Well,
Yes or no?
It's definitely
One
real.
second.
Okay, he says
Wait,
it's
let
real.
me
Do you
answer.
think it's
Let
real?
me
Yes or
answer.
no? Yes or no?
Let me answer.
Yes or no?
I'm
Just yes or no.
gonna expound. After
Hold
my-
on, then you expound. I'm gonna say yes
no,
or
no.
no.
I'm gonna give
Yes
you
or
yes
no?
or no. I'm just
Okay.
gonna expound. No, I don't.
Okay,
But whether
no.
I said I'm
You
gonna
don't think
expound.
it's hold on. Where does it come from?
Wait, it comes from the Talmud, not
Okay,
the Bible.
so if it comes
Wait-
from the Talmud and you think the Jews are doing it,
Mhm.
does
Why do I
it,
say it's not real?
what about the other things in the Talmud? Like, is
What?
that all fake? The
Yes,
only thing real
all
from the
garbage.
Talmud is Mafitz
Every-
Bepay.
everything.
Jesus Christ
This guy,
burning
like-
hell?
Wait, don't,
This
don't
guy
run,
takes
don't run,
one
don't
thing
run.
from the
Wait, wait,
Talmud.
wait,
I'm not running. I'm
Okay,
running
so let
all
me-
over you, bro.
So let me
I'm
finish
running
answer. All
circles,
you gotta
bro.
do is just let me finish.
The
Let-
one
try-
thing
try- let
that
me
he
finish.
thinks is
You gotta let me
valuable in the
finish. I
Talmud
don't think
is
nothing-
like something like
let him
Mafitz
go.
I
Bepay.
don't think
And
nothing in
Mafitz
the
Bepay is not even
One
entirely
second.
accepted.
I
A
don't
lot of
think
people do it.
nothing in the Talmud.
I
I don't
didn't
think
do it.
nothing in the Talmud is valuable. And whether I think Mitch Bepay is real or not, y'all do. And
Okay.
y'all suck on baby penises. Your rabbi says it's the most sanitary practice.
I
to
hate
take-
it when
that's
it
why
gets-
you
I hate
Jewish
it when
kids.
these.
That's
I
why
hate
when
it
y'all
when
get
these
older,
conversations.
that's why y'all look so effeminate.
I
Because
hate
you
it
done
when
had
these
your penis sucked at
conversations.
6 years old.
You can just say
Effeminate.
that
6
they
days
should
old,
stop
rather.
doing it.
Effeminate.
Yeah, that's
you
why
could,
y'all
you
look
could just be like, we
effeminate.
should stop
And
doing
what
it.
does that translate to? That translate to in Tel Aviv.
Mafitz
Y'all
Bepay is like
supposed
the
to
only
be
thing.
the-
But
Okay.
it
Y'all
doesn't,
supposed to be-
it's not a good look, though. It's just,
Okay,
and I'm
can
shocking
I
now.
respond
I'm
to it?
wait, hold on. I'm gonna end
Respond.
right here. Give me like
I feel
30
like
give me
I'm like,
30 seconds.
Then let's
okay,
give him a
30
minute.
Yeah,
seconds.
give it a
Don't
rest
give him a
in something, man. So, and how does that translate? Y'all supposed to, y'all call yourselves the children of God, and in your cities, you allow homosexuality to proliferate. When God said homosexuality is an abomination against God. So how can y'all be the children of God when in the city that y'all say y'all running as the children of God, y'all allow gays to run
right.
rampant? And you think because on one day you join with Muslims and Christians and one day y'all condemn them, it don't mean shit to the gay people. They'll give y'all one day when they can get 364 other days when they can just be openly gay in the city that you say is of God.
Okay, can I respond now?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah,
All
you
right.
give him a chance
You
now.
see how I was quiet?
So Jeremiah 17:4,
Yeah.
folks. We're talking about
It's like-
why the Jews were taken out of the land of Israel. And it says in Jeremiah 17:4, same verse that we were quoting,
Mhm.
that we were doing idolatry in the land. Now, I'm not here to say that Jews have been perfect for thousands of years, just quite the opposite. We recorded in our book that we're not. This is what separates us from the pharaohs of Egypt, who, according to their own tombstones, never did anything wrong. We've clearly displayed our sins throughout the Bible, as well as our righteous acts, and we broadcast them to the world. So 17:4, we were carried off because we worshipped the gods of others. We made Asherah trees, it specifically says.
Link is in the chat. Link is in the
So
chat.
in other places in the Bible, it describes the return
Go
of
over it.
Judah to the land of Israel. And it talks about the building of Israel as a nation from the pieces that were scattered to the four corners of the world. So it's like this. You might be descended of a Jew. You might have Jewish lineage. Who knows? I don't know how you came through. They have the whole Igbo thing. You know, like, are the Igbos also Hebrew Israelites?
Some are.
But how do you
Okay, so he says that some are. So
He
that's
just
what I'm saying.
spin, like this.
No,
this-
I didn't.
But
I'm saying
it
if you
said they
lost your
lost their
heritage,
Your ass
if
off
you
right
lost
now.
your heritage, let me give it back to you.
I think that's
okay?
one
You
bad.
ain't giving nothing to me. Pause.
He doesn't want the
That
heritage.
one part you have
What
to
does it
make
mean
is
to be a
valid
Jew?
argument
Tell
towards
me
them.
what it means to be a Jew in the world. What does it mean? What's your responsibility as a Jew?
As a Jew, it is your responsibility. I'm gonna speak from my organization.
for it.
But thank you. So as a
Don't
Jew,
speak from your organization. Speak from your heart. What does it mean?
That's the
Because
same
you
thing.
He
know,
represents.
Yeah,
the
that-
no,
that's
you're
yourself.
saying your organization. I'm saying if you're a Jew, it's in your
No,
heart.
but that's-
Speak from
that's
your
the-
heart.
That's the same thing.
Okay, go.
So being a Jew, it is our duty to wake up the other Jews or Israelites that are scattered across the four corners, because Jew is just one tribe. You had 12 other tribes or 11 other tribes: Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Naphtali, Issachar, etc. So it's our duty to keep the law, statute, commandments, obey the God, and then wake our people up. And if we would have been brought in that land in 1948, like y'all were brought in that land in 1948, there would be no gays.
But
There would
why-
be no.
why
Let me
weren't you
finish.
brought
I
to
didn't
that
interrupt
land?
you when you talk.
I
Let me
just asked the
finish.
question.
No, don't ask why I'm answering. Let me finish. If we would have been brought there, it would be no gays. It wouldn't be no slaughter of innocent Palestinians.
I was asking you
It
that
wouldn't be
question.
no slaughter of innocent Ethiopians. It wouldn't be no slaughter of innocent anybody, because the Bible says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. And Israel is mourning because you imposters are there. So if we were the Jews and in that land, the earth would be better.
Okay, so
we
let me
wouldn't
ask
be
you a
bragging
question.
You wouldn't
like
bomb,
you
would
just
you
did.
bomb
Let me ask you-
Palestinian children?
We would not. That's
Okay,
what I
hold
said.
up. Oh,
They
can
bombed,
I ask you a
and
question?
the crazy part about
Hold
them
on, can I ask
bombing
you a
them-
question? Can I
Let
ask
them
you?
Let him finish.
finish.
We'll let you go 1 second.
The
He
crazy
goes
part
forever,
about
man.
No,
You like-
when you just talked,
There
I
should
didn't
be a
talk
word.
until you
Just like there was a live
Wait, wait,
counter
wait.
on the last
You gotta
one with
do
Dan,
this
there should be a
because-
word
Listen,
counter
Listen,
on
I
this
tell
one.
y'all every time he
Let's give
does
him 3
this
seconds
because
and
he's
we'll
in
go.
his feelings. Because I was quiet the whole time you talked until you
Take the
asked me a
timer. Take
question.
the
All right, we'll do
timer.
a
So
timer.
now the interesting thing about Palestine, there's a video you can see where the Palestinians is welcoming these fake Jews with open arms. They come in and off the boats, coming in off the ships, and you was only supposed to take a certain part of land, but that wasn't good enough because y'all are murderous bastards. And so y'all start bombing them in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s. And then 2 years ago, I think now, y'all start bombing them again. If y'all were men of God, as y'all say, y'all would have held to the deal, but you break every treaty like every white man does. You wouldn't be slaughtering
They're not white.
innocent people that wanted to live cohesively.
You even did another 30 seconds,
with you
dude.
guys.
You're doing
All right.
laps of
You gotta
30
stop
seconds.
being a
Let's
crybaby.
give him-
You don't even answer questions.
let's
You
give
gotta
him a
stop
chance.
being a
Let's give him a
crybaby.
All
chance.
right,
now.
I'm gonna ask a 15-second question. You could talk all you want again. Ready?
Yes.
Since you're the real Jew, right? And you're
He coming around.
and
y'all.
you're LARPing on me. You're LARPing on me, saying that like, hey, you guys came back to the land and did all this killing and shit. And if it was us, there'd be no gays in the land. And you're all talking like that. Let me ask you, since you're the real Jew, would you build the third temple?
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI.
If you know, biblically speaking, the third temple doesn't get built till the Messiah comes.
Oh, so what would you do with the land? Would you just like
What
sit
we
on
would
it,
do with the land is what we do in this land right now.
sit on
So
the
what we-
street
see how you
corners and
said-
yell at people?
He can't even hold true to what he said. They said, I'm going to ask you a 15-second
Okay, go,
question
go,
and then I'm
go.
going to let you talk as much
Sorry
as
to
you want.
interrupt my
I just
own
like to-
30
that was
seconds.
a
I
funny
just
one,
like
Reese.
to,
That was a
I
funny
just
one.
like to point out my superiority.
Okay,
I
go,
just like
go,
to
go.
point out my
Superior one, go, go,
Thank
go. Pharaoh.
See that?
Go,
Superior
Pharaoh.
one. He coming along.
I'm calling
He
him
called me the
Pharaoh because
superior
he's
one. No, I ain't Pharaoh, but I'm the superior
he's more
one.
Pharaoh
I'm gonna
than
make a clip out
Yehuda.
of you when Jake put it up.
All right,
You
let's
call-
go.
Thank you. So even in this land, we obey the laws. We don't break God's laws. We don't even break.
You're not
America.
allowed to break the laws.
Interrupted
It's
again.
against the Torah.
Not to y'all because y'all got gay
If
niggas.
people
How
do
can you
it,
say, wait. How can you say it's against Torah? You just cut yourself.
can
You
I
just
answer?
said- wait, I'm trying to finish.
Because God
You
gave us
keep
free will.
interrupting.
And people
So
do bad
God
things with their
never
free
gave
will.
Free will.
Yes, he
There's
did.
no such thing.
That's
and
what
if
the
you
Jews are.
can't break God's
Okay.
law, and y'all are breaking God's law, that's how you know you're not. Because if you was gay in the Israelite world, in our community, we would condemn
Get
you.
your ass kicked
We
out.
would
Alright.
kick you. We would kick you out. You
Yeah,
can't be
same
gay.
with our community.
Y'all embrace
Can't
gay.
be gay in our community
Yes,
either.
you
Do they allow that
No,
in
you
the
can't.
Y'all
to the
push
synagogue?
No, come around my block.
Y'all push
Don't have gay in my
y'all
block.
promote gay.
I'll push you out
Y'all
my
all,
block
all in Hollywood
with my own
is
man.
Gay. Social media is
We
gay.
walk into the
The
streets, we
internet
say,
is
yo,
gay.
yo,
Even-
my
you know
jigger.
how y'all make
Yo,
you know
jiggers, no
who y'all
jiggers
promote?
gay up in this
Look.
neighborhood. We don't have no gay
I-
jiggers in this
now-
neighborhood.
no,
cosplay.
Yo,
Wait,
can I
hold on.
answer?
think about
When
it
I
earlier.
cosplaying
I'm
as
only
a black person.
cosplaying. You're
I ain't
cosplaying.
cosplaying as a
You're
white person.
cosplaying as a Jew
You're
right now.
cosplaying.
He's
It's
gonna do
funny.
You're
blackface.
cosplaying. You
All right,
can't.
all right.
You're doing a horrible
Can
Can
job.
I answer?
I
Can
think
That's
this
it.
is
Yeah,
another
yeah,
question
I want
we
to
brings
say.
up with the media that is largely
Yeah.
Jewish.
And
do
they're
push-
gay.
and-
Hold
and they
on.
do
Let me
push
answer.
homosexuality and
Let me
stuff.
answer. Let me answer. Let me answer.
You ain't
Children,
gotta say just to us.
children, take it down a few notches.
All right, all right.
All right,
Sure,
here's
sure.
the
You're a
answer.
child though.
All right, child of
We just want like
child
real
of God,
answers. We just want real
Child of
answers.
Satan.
though,
child
not-
of Judah.
According to Revelation
don't want
2 and
the
3,
answer.
you're a
Right.
child of
Okay.
Satan.
All right. All right, Gabriel.
I have a friend
Okay, hold
who
on. Let me
thinks
answer.
Jews
Let
are
me answer. Let me
demons.
answer the gay thing. Let me answer the gay thing. Let me
You
answer the gay
can.
thing. So, because you said that I asked you if you're a Jew, what's your mission? You're like to wake up all the other lost Jews and tribes and blah blah blah, right? So, like, the real mission of the Jewish people is not to. The real mission of the Jewish people is to teach people how to love Hashem, how to love God, the God of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And in that, he gives very clear guidelines. In Leviticus 18:22, he says, it's toevahi, it's an abomination to God. Now, he allows for humans to willfully violate his commandments. And that is proof that God created free will in this world. Now, it is through that same free will that we were created to love God. Our purpose is to be God's partner. That's why humans were created. So I'll ask you, Tazaria, you're shaking your head. You don't think this is real. Why do you think humans were created? What is... I'll ask that before I phrase it as what purpose of life, but I have an answer for both. So
Okay,
why
so
were
both-
humans
both of you,
created?
Are Jews better than non-Jews?
Are what?
Are Jews better than non-Jews? You're God's chosen people? Do you guys
There's
both-
no such
you guys
thing as
both
better
look
or
at yourself
worse.
as
There's
better than
only
me?
different. There's no such
What-
thing
what-
as
I would
better or
disagree. What's
worse.
your
There's
thoughts
only
on that?
different.
I would disagree. God created.
You
the
think you're
chil-
better than all the other people?
Yes, God created the children of Israel to be above. It says that
You
in
think
your
that a
book.
little bit. Come on.
In
now.
Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. it
Look, I
said-
wouldn't interbreed
wait,
with any
hold
of
on,
you
let me
guys,
answer.
but like I
One-
try
one-
not to put
one-
myself above you. You
But
know,
got- 1 second. In Deuteronomy 7 and in Deuteronomy 28,
If I
it says God. See how you still talking?
We
again?
can be
Sorry,
honest, though.
sorry,
We can be
sorry.
honest here.
My
He's being
mouth.
honest.
My
I like
mouth.
to point that out because at some
All right.
point, I just go off. And
I just
do
want
what
to
you're
point it
doing.
out that if I'm not allowed to teach you anything, maybe I can teach you Hebrew and reconnect
Let's
you
just
with
try and
your
don't
lost
speak each other
roots.
too much.
I just want to.
You know
talk
what I'm saying?
now.
Since you're the
I
Jew-
just want to talk now.
Since you're the Jew and I'm the
He's
imposter
explaining-
Jew.
He's
Yeah.
explaining that he thinks.
I
that
know,
you're
no,
better
I get
than
it,
me.
I get
I
it.
ain't
I'll get
complaining.
my
I just
I'll
wanna
get my
try to,
thoughts
like,
on that
teach
too.
something.
It's more like warning. Like
I wanna
if
try
every
to
time
teach
you ask
something.
me to talk, and then excuse me, you ask for to finish, and I let you finish, and then you constantly interrupt me. At some point, I'ma just interrupt you all day
That's okay.
because we
You've
have
been
to
interrupting
give,
me
you have
all
to
day.
give respect. No,
Okay.
no.
So let's try to
we
give
have
each other
I
time.
just wanna
I can give you
say-
a timer if
Answer
you guys
the
want
Okay,
question.
set the timer for 10 seconds and I'll finish in the 10 seconds.
Just go.
Okay, 10 seconds.
You can have 30.
I want to try to teach you something today about my culture and
You
my
don't have
heritage.
one.
And if it's only one thing, let it be the Hebrew language that you claim to have been disbanded from that I seem to know.
Mhm.
So let me teach you Hebrew.
So now with all the
Would you at least learn Hebrew from me?
No.
It's just a language.
No, so
if
I
we all
answered
think we're
that.
better
What
than
about
each other.
Aramaic?
Wait, no, you can't.
Because
teach-
Aramaic, we also grew up with that in the home.
Okay, so
So maybe I could teach you both our biblical languages, you know?
I'm gonna answer Jake's
Supposedly
question.
Jesus spoke Aramaic. So,
I'm gonna
like,
answer.
kind of weird that like I grew up with
Right.
Aramaic in the home, right?
Got you. So I'm gonna
But
answer
like,
that question.
whatever, I'm an
How
imposter.
long you
So
gonna say it? Thank you. So I'm gonna answer that, then I'm gonna answer Jake's question. Psalms 147, 19 and 20 say, He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and commandments to Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. You are
Yeah.
not an Israelite, so you can't teach
the
me shit. See how you
613
still talking? So now I'm gonna
statutes.
answer Jake's question. In Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, and Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, God said he chose us to be above all nations on the planet.
All right.
So
you
the
guys
only
really
way we
want
could
me
be
to
above,
do
see
it?
how you in his
I
feelings
find
again?
your honesty.
In your
if you-
feelings again.
It's okay if you
Okay.
believe
You're a
that.
little touchy.
I like white people and
Guys,
things.
can
you
I-
know,
But can I
think
finish?
highly of white
Yeah,
people.
you
I
can
just-
finish.
okay, thank
You
you.
can finish.
So now, if God said he chose Israelites to be above, then he chose us to be better. Now, does that better mean we got to deal unjustly with other people? No. So, like, I believe that we're better than every other race of people. But when I'm around other races, and
treat them
if
with
I'm doing
respect.
business with them, I'm gonna do business with them. If I gotta have a conversation with them, I'm gonna have a conversation with them. I just prefer my people first.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong
I don't
with
think
that.
anything's wrong with
we're
that.
the- I think we're the
Can I
best.
share?
I think we're the best everything.
I love you for that, by the way. I just want to say, and also you for
I
being.
like white people the most.
I love
too.
you for being so
Yeah.
super white power.
Not
you know,
white power.
whatever you are,
I-
white
I don't-
leader.
I don't hate other races.
White leader
I'm
who
just
wants
pro-white.
to lead the whites, right?
Yeah. I
Like,
get
I
attacked
get
by-
it. Hold
I get
on, hold
attacked
on.
by the
Let me.
white supremacists because I talk to people like you
I get it.
guys.
I get it. And I appreciate you guys so much right now because I'm gonna come out so hard on Jew power, right?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Like I'm gonna
fucking
come
throw
out
it.
so
Let's go
hard on it
swing
right now. He doesn't want I don't want to be like this guy who like goes around walking saying I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I want to try to be able to learn from everyone first
You
of
feel
all.
that a
Hold
little
on,
bit.
hold on,
All
hold
right,
on.
all right.
Let me finish. But the fact that like I grew up knowing Hebrew and Aramaic and like advanced mathematics and like just like powerful knowledge that sets me apart from everyone, including like the gate keys to all ancient history. I do feel like I'm
Yeah.
more special than y'all.
There you go. Say it.
I do.
That's why we were asking.
I think I'm more special than y'all, and like I don't want to gloat.
Yeah.
I don't want to dance around you guys, but I do want to share with you guys, especially someone like you who like believes he has a deep ancient connection to this. Like even if it's just the Hebrew language, you feel me? Like you should learn the Hebrew language. Read the Bible in the Hebrew language, the real language it was written in. There's no disputing that. You know what I'm saying? And then Aramaic too, because Aramaic, all the best commentaries of the Bible are written in Aramaic, and there's a reason for this, and I want to teach you.
As many of you guys know, I run a free speech podcast. That comes as a price. It's being demonetized everywhere. So one way to support the podcast is to buy your books from AntelopeHillPublishing.com. Today's selection is The Trans Industrial Complex. This book covers the money-making machine of the trans industries and shows it's not to help people, but to make money and get rich. So again, if you want to support the podcast, go to AntelopeHillPublishing.com and be sure to use promo code FIGHTBACK. That'll save you money and support me. Thank you.
As many of you know, I have many controversial guests. So that comes at a cost of being demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support the program, go to fightbackpodcast.com, and I have all kinds of merch on there, whether it's jiu-jitsu, fighting, political, and other accessories. And thanks for the support.
Because when God made the angels different from man in the sense that they do not have free will the way that man has free will made in the image of God. The angels, hold on. They were not programmed with the language of Aramaic. They do not know Aramaic. And there's some secrets from heaven that if the angels knew that man was taking it out of heaven with our free will, they would have stopped it. And the best biblical commentaries are written in Aramaic for that reason, because it's almost like a language of ancient, it's like almost like the ancient human street language. Aramaic. So those two languages, us Jews, we'd like to offer the world as a part of the collective quilt.
Let me simplify
and then
that.
you could crip walk all around and tell me
I think
that
I'm better than you.
You know,
guys.
like,
Thank you for being honest.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
thank-
feeling
thank-
it.
I
I'm feeling it.
appreciate your honesty.
Can I respond?
Thank you
to that?
guys for this coming out
yes.
moment. I
Okay.
am a
I appreciate.
a Jewish supremacist.
We have no problem with
Right.
that.
No,
though.
I'm just
Can I-
kidding.
That
I'm
doesn't
kidding.
bother us.
I'm
Can I
kidding.
just respond to that?
I just want
I
to
just
be.
want to point out that
You don't have to hate to be a racist. All love.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
all
just
we
wanna
all, we all
respond to that.
agree.
Yeah.
I just want to
Go,
respond to
go.
especially the
We
stereotype.
would all feel
of-
proud of our race.
Thank you.
Especially the stereotype.
This was a
of
coming
Rick
out
Warren.
moment for me. Thank
But
you.
I want to
guys.
highlight. I want to highlight something. Is that when he's mentioned about his knowledge of Hebrew, his knowledge of Aramaic, his knowledge of math, none of that got him out of the condition that they was in. What got them out of the condition that they was in was begging other white people for help against their enemies. The Bible said the children of Israel cried to God, and God sent Moses and delivered them from their enemies. What Jewish people did was beg other white people, and then them white people went to war and freed y'all. To this day, the only reason y'all are in power is because another white man helps you.
It's
Stay. I didn't interrupt you, dude.
You're right. You're right.
Thank
I'm going
you.
to self-regulate.
It's because another white man did it. God didn't help y'all. Trump helped y'all. Before Trump, it was Eisenhower. Before that, it was another president.
Okay. Can I
You gotta
respond?
let me finish,
Okay.
man. You just talked at length. I did not interrupt you till you was done.
I'm just thinking of a good clip.
Okay,
to make,
then
you know what
just
I'm
gotta
saying?
really keep your lips slit.
I'll try my best.
Thank you. So when you try to make it seem like your Hebrew makes you smart, when you think your understanding of the Torah make you smart, none of that helps
Okay, I
you
wanna
get in your
respond.
position of power.
You're saying
What
that we
helped
just
you
begged
get
the
in your
white man.
position, you
Also, what
did.
we did was
And
we
what y'all do
cured
now to this
tuberculosis.
day
We created
is
the
you
MRI
scream
machine. We like,
anti-Semitism.
did
you
a lot
bring
for
up
the
the
world.
Holocaust.
Let's give him.
Yeah, you scream anti-Semitism. You scream about the Holocaust. You beg Trump for help at will, to where it's America's funding of you that keeps you in power. It's America's military that keeps you in power. Iran would have whooped y'all ass, and it's
They
Trump
were.
that keeps y'all in power, not God. So your God is Trump. Your God is Elon Musk. Your God is America. So all that Hebrew shit you know is irrelevant. All that Aramaic you know is irrelevant, because if you believed in the Most High, y'all would have prayed to him, but y'all prayed to Trump. That's why men like Jake don't like Trump no more. That's why men like Jake don't like Elon Musk no more.
Trump don't like my
Because
wife.
they
He
see-
likes his wife.
Yeah, Elon Musk can now say Jewish people are peak white because enough Jewish people went and begged and
give him a
bowed
chance,
down
though.
to Donald Trump. So that's all that Hebrew you know. Y'all pray to that
All right,
guy.
Let's give him a chance to respond.
Okay, that's right.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to be unbiased, but that's my issue with Trump and all this. By
Yeah.
the
I'm
way,
gonna
I
say,
feel like he's betrayed
That's why
my
they
people
stay in power.
for
guys,
his people.
I had to put my hood on for
Okay,
this.
Let's go. Break it down.
I had to
Go
put my
hard.
hood on for
Now
this.
watch he don't get interrupted.
God is the reason why we won all 7 wars on all 7 fronts this summer in 6 months and defeated all of our enemies within a short period of time. God is the reason why we won the 6-Day War. God is the reason why we were even brought back in 1948 to begin with, when Qadar al-Hussein was killed by a stray bullet, ending the independence. Unbelievable miracles take place daily in the land of Judah and Israel. And we export Jews from America all sorts of amazing inventions. You say that it was the white man who freed us, and the white man did this, and the white man did this. It does say in the Bible things about Esau and his descendants helping the Jewish people, as we are genetically related to the Romans. But in a much more larger context, it is important to understand one thing, that the Jews are such a powerful nation today because of our contributions to humanity. The reason why we're untouchable in the Middle East is because we have 400 nuclear warheads with the most advanced
still from
space
America.
program. It was Einstein who created the nuclear everything. So a Jew. So when you want to talk about the Jewish contribution to humanity and why it is,
Where did they get the uranium?
there were
stolen from
things that
America?
came through Jews that benefited the whole world, like the cure for tuberculosis, which today attributes to 500 million lives that were saved from tuberculosis, extending family life for 10 to 20 years. Unbelievable and unprecedented amounts of medical technology. so much the Jews have
The
offered
COVID
the world.
vaccine.
You know, I actually think that's Nazi. I think the COVID vaccine came from Joseph Mengele, Operation Paperclip at Pfizer.
COVID vaccine started with a black
Jews
woman.
have done some good. I'm not sure the Jews have done some great things
Yeah, the
too. I'm not
COVID
gonna do
vaccine started with a black woman. And you can't name a war y'all won without white assistance.
A
Yeah,
what?
bro. I would agree
a
with.
war y'all won without white assistance.
This
The
last
white
one?
children.
Even
are
the state
dying
of
for
Israel
Jewish
was not
wars.
even. Was that your first location?
The state of Israel?
Yeah.
You know, I believe that God can acquire
I'm just
salvation
asking.
through
I'm not
any
asking
means.
about God.
And he chose to bring it about
I'm
through
not asking
secular
about
Jews.
God.
I'm
Well,
telling you what God
no,
did.
wait. You got to
Atheist
hear the
Jews.
question.
I'm answering
again.
the
No,
question.
hear the question again.
I don't believe that the Jews are in control
You
of
gotta
Israel.
hear
I
the
think that
question.
God
You
is in
say you're
control of
talking 'cause You don't
Israel.
want to hear the question.
And this is what God wants.
When y'all were trying to get your state, a place to put the Jewish people, was the state of Israel the first location?
Yes.
That's a fucking lie.
No, to
the first
some.
location, y'all was
You're
going
going to say
Haiti.
Uganda, but I'm
No,
not allowed
I'm
to
not gonna
respond.
say Uganda.
Madagascar? They
He doesn't even know about Uganda.
Wait,
Is that Hitler's
I wasn't
thing?
going to start
He doesn't
there.
even know about
Y'all was
Uganda.
looking in
Let's see.
South America, you was looking in Haiti, and you was looking in Africa. No
Because-
place
yeah.
wanted y'all.
You want to
And
know
then
something?
the Palestinians decided
We
to
didn't
let y'all
believe
come
that
there.
God would
If
even
y'all
redeem
were the
us.
children, that's a lie.
Yeah, we
These
didn't.
guys
That
were
is
a-
an
these guys
absolute
were
We went-
atheists
we
about
y'all
went-
would have
Israel.
went anywhere
We went to
that would have
Jerusalem.
allowed y'all to go. If South America would have accepted
In
y'all,
the Bible.
y'all would be saying the state of Israel is in South America.
You
If
want to know
Africa would
something?
have accepted y'all would have said the state of Israel is in
And that
Africa.
is
Even Africa
because,
said no.
and
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
because at the time, the wandering exiles of the tribe of Judah
no.
did not think that God
Y'all were
was
not
ready
the
to
real
redeem
people.
them. We were
And he still
surprised by our
hasn't.
independence. A
Y'all
minority
needed
of
America
Jews
to-
fought.
Can you imagine that? Israel being in Uganda? So what if Uganda would have let them in? Then we would have a state of Israel and Uganda. Can you imagine that? That's very interesting.
the
do that for y'all.
independence.
Y'all needed
Not
America.
even the
Y'all
entire
needed
vast
everybody
majority of Jews
Y'all would not
believed
have
that independence
state.
was even a
Y'all would
possibility.
not have that state.
You know, my
without your white
grandfather
brothers
was
helping
running.
you.
My
The
grandfather
UN
was.
gave it to
yeah.
them. The UN gave it
Y'all
to
I'll
would
tell
not
you.
have it.
My grandfather,
weapons, they
a
still
blessed
have it.
memory.
And fund y'all to
Hold up,
this
listen to
day.
this.
Y'all
My
get
grandfather-
Holocaust money. You
Let
get
him- let him
military
finish,
money.
man.
Damn, you
get
guys talk like
weapons.
black
let him go real
women. You're
quick.
like, I feel like there's no way
You
to
get
get a
More
word in.
stereotype.
I know, I'm
Well,
doing
you have 1 minute and
stereotype.
we'll go.
You're
See, like, and the
stereotyping
thing about it
me.
is, I'm not
you
stereotyping
can say,
you.
I'm not allowed to stereotype you.
said
Okay,
you said
stereotyping
we're
you is off
talking like
limits. I won't
black-
stereotype.
I don't care that you do.
I know. It's
Again, I like to show my superiority because I don't have to do that to
if
beat
you
your
want
ass in this
I know
debate.
you are.
When you say black woman,
If you want to show
you
your
can't handle
superiority,
the
you should let me.
conversation,
You
so
should
now
let me
have
talk.
to go to low vibrational words.
You're right.
I don't have to do
I
that.
insulted you,
I can
and
just, didn't insult me.
then
I'm not bothered.
okay. Then show your
I
superiority by
clearly
letting
cut
me
you to the
respond.
core.
Let me respond.
Somebody's saying, "Let me respond." When all you've done is interrupted. You're the child.
I'm sorry.
You're the child that's pouting.
But
You're
now
the
you
child
well.
that's spoiled,
I'm
that's been allowed to do whatever you want in America, and you're standing in front of
Don't
somebody
hate Jewish
that will
excellence,
not
man. It's not
let
like we
you
don't
do
want.
it.
We don't.
I'm
we're
not even
not
bothered at whatever excellency you got,
pontificate.
but I can point out your hypocrisy,
Okay,
which is what I'm doing.
come on. Let me speak.
I don't care about your power.
Okay,
I don't
you
care
said
about
it.
none
I'm a
of that.
hypocrite. Let me answer. Can I answer?
Definitely.
Okay, now show me.
What are
your,
you answering?
Give him a chance to go real quick.
What are you
Yeah, show me
answering?
your superiority by let me answering in full.
What are you answering?
I honestly don't even know the question because you covered like
Because it
8
wasn't-
different topics.
Because
So
it
I'm going to
wasn't
go
no
back to the.
question that I asked.
I'm going to
I
go
have a
back
couple
to
more
the
to throw
very
out, too.
Yeah,
beginning.
let
Unless
Jake
you
ask a
want
question.
something.
I don't have no question.
I
that
have a couple.
asked you.
Here's something that bothers me as a white person, right?
Right.
Like, I was always taught to hate my own people, that we
Mhm.
absolutely were terrible to black people. And we were. I'm not making excuses for
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate
We were.
the
I apologize
honesty.
with that. But
Right.
then it was just pushed so heavily. Roots, this,
Mhm.
hate myself, feeling this self
You mean like when you say roots and stuff, you're talking about from
the movie, like
right,
all
and
the
what it
terrible
would
white,
do
yeah,
to
all
you
the terrible
guys
people,
for us.
all the terrible stuff we've
Right.
done. Like we've done some terrible stuff, not so we haven't, but it was
Right.
pushed so heavy on me. And then one day someone sent me a list of all people making these movies, books, and also a list of who
And
ran
who
most
was
of the
making the
slave
movie? Who was
ships.
making it?
And then when I go, the Jews overrepresented the slave trade, and then the
Yeah.
Jews pushed the hate and didn't
Oh,
show
so
any
we're going
Jews.
down this Jewish
I'm just
slave
going real
thing.
quick. We're not going to go deep into this,
Right.
but as a white person, that really bothered me.
wanna tell you about
and I'm
the-
not saying we're innocent in this. You know,
Right.
we take some guilt.
It's
But
a
it was
Some
conglomerate,
guilt.
but
They like
try
to
make
say
it
that the
seem like it's
Jews ran
only
the slave
white
trade and
people.
the
I
white
think they
people
were
No, I
didn't
don't
do it.
think that- if you
It's like
wanna
an
take-
overwhelming minority of Jewish slave traders. 99% of Ashkenazi Jews during the time of the slave trade lived in abject poverty. Like
So-
Shantytown,
they owned all the
Jamaica
slave
was
ships
like
and
the
stuff.
Jewish
I
neighborhood.
think the historical way to say it, and I like that you
Yeah.
said you're
That
not
just
taking
bothered
away
me
from the role
Yeah,
of white
we
people
were
doing
involved.
it.
We were involved.
But what
yeah.
Jewish people like to do is be innocent of any evil.
They push it all.
They try
on
to
us.
make it seem like no.
But
we're
my
not doing it.
ancestors didn't
It's
own any
somebody
slaves
else.
or
But
scalp
when
any
you,
Indians.
when you
No,
go
I'm
to
not saying
names
general,
of the
but I'm
ship
talking about
owners,
Jews in
and
general,
all of
and
them
they made all
were
these
Jewish.
movies.
The Abigail was owned by Aaron Lopez. The Crown,
Lopez,
the Nassau, the Anna, the Eliza.
Lopez,
Yeah, those are Jewish names.
Lopez.
I would do the history.
Come on, if
I
you
would
said
do-
Shapiro,
I
I
would
would
do
have
the
felt like
history.
I got caught.
I would do the
were
history of that.
Lopez.
They were
The prudent
Yo, I'm not
way
taking
overrepresented.
advantage for
The Hester
Lopez,
and the Elizabeth
Gutierrez,
were owned by
Hernandez,
Mordecai
Sanchez.
and David. The Antique, the Betty, the Polly, the White
you got
Horse.
this shit
There's
ready.
list of
This is
Jewish,
retarded.
There's list of Jewish owned
But they
slaves.
blamed it
But
all
you'll
on my
make it
people,
seem
and
like
that
Jewish
bothered
people
me.
didn't have a hand in it.
Yeah,
they
Lopez
made-
is
they
not
made
Jewish,
movies
man.
driving
There's no
hate.
world
Right.
where
I
Lopez
feel like
is
there was
Jewish.
a hatred driven between black and white people intentionally. The NAACP, I'm sure you know.
You think
was,
that we-
that was
Founded
ran
by
Jews.
Jewish people.
Even
Black
Martin
Lives Matter,
Luther, Black
Jewish
Lives
people.
Matter, Jewish.
Yeah.
Even Martin Luther
Oh,
King speeches.
mhm.
Like, Malcolm X is real
So
as fuck.
are we responsible for all of your guys' victimhood?
No, you're not. But I'm just pointing out how.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
guys are
There's
both-
not a greater
You guys are
victim.
both
There's
victims
not
of
a
the
They did,
Jews.
it was
greater-
manipulated.
You guys are both
Wait,
that
if I
hard
could,
victims of the Jews.
If I could,
Well, they did do
Come
some
on,
manipulation towards
man.
it.
Do you guys really feel like you're victims
There's
of the Jews?
a little bit.
there's- I don't
You really
feel,
you feel victimhood?
I don't think I'm a victim. but
don't
I
let
think
him
there
do
was
that,
this-
Jake.
I think there was
Don't let him do it, Jake.
There
He
was
might be
hatred-
winning.
There was hatred driven between me and him over things that we had.
And you
some
think that the
responsibility
Jews
in.
did that?
Look who runs Hollywood, who made Roots, who
Bro,
made.
do you know that
who
it
ran
was
the
the
slave
Jews
ships?
that marched on Selma with
Yeah, we do. That was
Martin
that's
Luther
kind of
King
a point.
Jr.?
That was kind of the point we're
The
making.
Jews were very
This is
involved
kind of
with
the
that.
exact point we're making.
right.
Jews wanted civil rights in this country.
But at what cost? To
You know
try
what?
division?
Everything has like
Civil
a.
rights
I'll
was a
tell you.
detriment for black people, though.
Let me
But
ask.
what I
Black
want
would've done better,
what I
or
want
Would you
to
rather have been? Would you rather have
I
been
would
3/5 a
I
slave
would
or?
rather have had my own cities.
Okay, so
Okay,
would
what-
you,
They were
when we
thriving.
talk
would you
about
want, would
civil
you want to
rights, when
do
you talk
that in
about
your
civil rights,
ancestral
there's
homeland
Jewish-
of Israel?
There's Jewish.
Would you want that in your
don't- don't
ancestral
spin,
homeland
though.
of
I think-
Israel? I'm not
don't spin.
spinning.
You are
agree
because
with
you
this
You say
topic.
that every
I think
response
this-
is
I think
because
it's
you
an
talk
important
about
topic.
civil rights has nothing to do with the homeland of Israel.
Has that helped black
Civil
people?
rights is in America.
All right,
Civil
so
rights did not help black people.
let
It
black
destroyed
people be
black
the
people.
judge of this
In
In
one.
Jewish
podcast.
cities,
I will
you're
not.
allowed to have your own city. It's not infiltrated.
Where?
In Brooklyn, in Jersey, in Ramsey, New Jersey, where I'm from,
Is
there's
it
a
Ju-
whole section of a Jewish city where they run it so well. If they're walking in the middle of the street, you have to yield to them no matter where they're
Yo,
at.
you should always
No,
yield to pedestrians.
No, I
yo.
ain't say pedestrians. I said what listening is an art. I said wherever they are in the middle, if they walking in the middle of the street, if they're walking in the yellow, you have to yield to them because they own that city. That's in Ramsey, New Jersey.
You mean if they're
When
like
we had
jaywalking?
when civil rights,
You mean
when
if-
anywhere.
What are we talking about right now?
Listening is an art.
I'm trying
I'ma
to understand. Are we
I'ma
talking
say
about
I'ma say it
jaywalking?
one more time.
Okay, but it's jaywalking.
Just all you gotta do is listen.
Okay, is it just if
I'm-
it's
I'm just
jaywalking,
listening.
use the word jaywalking
You
so I
know, if you
understand.
know what
what you're
jaywalking is, if I say it though, right?
I do.
Thank you. So if they're walking anywhere in the street, you have to yield to them.
So it's not
In
considered
Ramsey, New Jersey.
jaywalking if you're
They
walking
don't-
across
I
the
don't-
street
you have
anyway.
to ask that city.
But is it
But-
only for
but
Jewish
here's
people?
my point. Yes, because it's
Based.
their city. Because but when civil rights,
No, I'm
hit
just kidding.
black-
I'm just
when
kidding.
Civil rights,
No,
hit
it should be
black
a
people,
pedestrian. That
when-
should be a
when
lawsuit for
civil
anyone.
rights hit black people, we lost our
right.
education, we
Let
lost
him
our
finish. This is
businesses,
important.
we lost our families, we lost everything. When we were
No one talks
under
about this.
Jim
This is
Crow,
important.
we still had our cities. There was no redlining.
Black doctors,
coming in.
black-
we had
black
black
owned liquor
doctors, we had
stores.
black teachers. We had black everything.
It's true.
And then you
And
Jewish
no one has these
bastards come in.
conversations.
No,
you
it wasn't
Jewish
the
bastards
it wasn't
come
the
in,
Jewish bastards.
And
It
it's a
was
couple
GM.
of uppity rich
NAACP.
black people.
Yo, did you
that
see
wanna-
the Crips and the
there's a
Bloods, the
couple
Saga of
uppity
Sadness
rich
by Tony
black
Muhammad?
people
Did you see that
wanted
movie?
to join
Did you
your
see that
people,
movie?
Finish real
and then
quick.
because they wanted to join your people, sacrificed ours. So civil rights destroyed
Okay.
the black community.
I
They
want to
were-
ask.
they were-
I want to
they
ask you
were-
something. I want to
thriving
ask you
before
something. I
that.
want to ask you something.
Mhm.
Did you see that movie by Tony Muhammad called The Crips and Bloods: A Saga of Sadness? Did
No.
you see it?
I never
Yo,
seen
this is one of the best civil rights movies you've ever seen. You know who he is, right?
it. I know who Tony
He's the
Muhammad
head
is.
of the Nation of Islam, a good friend of mine for a very long time.
on the West Coast, I believe.
I'm from LA,
Mhm.
so I'm really invested into making sure that LA is a safe place for all Angelinos. It's
Mhm.
very important to me.
But what is the point? Where are you going?
So
with it?
Tony Muhammad in his video basically talks about what ended the uppityness of the black community. In the 1940s and 50s, the black community was really the bulk of the industry that created the automotive industry.
Yeah.
and there were like the black car club was like the biggest thing in LA. It was just like the
Before segregation.
lowriders and the white people. They
Mhm.
all had these car clubs.
This is all before civil rights,
And,
before
uh,
The points you're
immigration.
making.
And
proving my
so
point.
listen what happened.
Mhm.
So GM and
You about to blame
Chrysler,
it on the job?
GM and Chrysler, and the fact
white
this is
man
what
is-
Tony
The
Muhammad
white man is
says.
the devil.
This guy doesn't even want to listen to
Mm.
Tony Muhammad. He just wants to blame me
I don't-
for
I would have
repeating
to
what
watch
Tony
it.
Muhammad
I don't
says.
believe you. I would have to watch
He
it.
said the automotive industry was single-handedly responsible for the absolute destruction of the black community in LA, and it was through the persecution of black car clubs. And he documents it in this really beautiful way that like shows unbelievable context. You should listen to Tony Muhammad. He's a very smart man.
that is a lie.
But Tony's not a smart. You don't think
No,
he?
no,
I don't know who he is.
See,
Watch the
when I
movie
say-
before you
when I
say
say
it's a lie.
wait,
Watch
wait.
the movie.
And when Tony Muhammad watched this, he's not going to listen to that and said, Captain Zodiac was calling
He's
me a
gonna be
liar.
like,
He's
"Yo,
gonna say
Adam
what that
King,
white, what
that's
he's
my
saying, what
jiggle
that
right
white
there."
man
No,
is
that
saying
Jew.
is not
He's
a lie.
gonna say that's
Okay,
my
one more,
Jewish
I'll try
friend
this.
right there.
Right.
Marcus Garvey, do you know him?
Yeah.
He was deported out of the country by Jews. He was a huge black
By
nationalist.
Jews?
Yes, his own.
Who was the
words.
one that deported him?
It was a judge. A Jewish judge and
Your
Jewish
mic
attorney.
is
I don't
falling
know their
down.
names, but I could look it up.
But they were Jewish.
He
You
was
know
a
for sure it
very
was
strong-
Jewish.
what I
but you don't know
want-
the
what I
he
name.
was a
want-
very strong, powerful
and-
black leader.
Marcus
What I want people to pay
Garvey. I
attention
love
to,
Marcus
Only a
Garvey.
Jewish
Why
man
can't we
would
get
think-
a? Why
only
can't
a
we
Jewish
all?
man would limit the destruction of the black
Why
family
can't we
structure,
all-
the black cities.
Do you guys want to
to
know
losing
who
jobs.
inspired
That's
my?
not the limit.
What more? Then I'll do some attacks on
Do you
him.
guys want to know who
Yeah.
inspired my civil rights activism?
Who?
And I'll tell
I
you,
don't
I'm a
think
friend
you
of the
have a civil
family.
right in your bone.
I am a friend of the family to this day. To this day, his oldest daughter is like one of my life mentors, Malcolm X, and his daughter Ambassador Shabazz. I love her dearly.
You
I'm gonna
Malcolm
say.
homies or no?
His oldest daughter,
Oh my
Ambassador
God,
Shabazz.
man.
I'm very close with her.
I don't believe that.
What did
either.
Malcolm say about
Yo,
the
you
Jews?
should see our text
Yeah.
chain, man. This
Yeah.
woman even advises me on the
Mm.
women that I date.
That's
She
a
gives me
sad-
dating advice.
You know what?
I'm saying?
And her father's
She's-
probably turning in his grave.
No,
if
he's
that's
he's
true.
actually
he would
not.
not
If
want
that's-
his daughter
he's not.
If
to
that's true.
to a non-black.
Do you
man,
wanna
that's
know,
for
He-
sure.
like,
when he was alive, he
was-
said we can't have no white unity
When I
until
was
we have
16,
black unity. So it's
okay,
hard
let
for
me
me to
answer.
believe that he would do that. That's what Malcolm X is quoted as
When
saying.
Towards the end of his
Malcolm
life,
X
he
is a
started
wrong,
unifying
right?
with
After
this
he
is
left the
Jake.
nation.
Say that louder, Jake.
Towards the end of his life, he started unifying with whites because he went to Mecca and he realized that white people could
No,
be
no,
his
no.
brother.
I'm not saying that when he
So
went to
hold on,
Mecca-
Tazaria,
slow down,
let-
Swifty, I'm
Tazaria,
talking to Jake.
listen to
I'm
me,
just
Swifty.
responding to
Go,
Jake.
go, go.
Swifty.
So when he did that, but when he came back to America, he still said we cannot have no white unity until we have
I can't
black
believe I'm like
unity.
fighting you over Tony Muhammad.
That's it.
That's
That makes
crazy.
sense.
I'm not fighting
Anyway,
over Tony
I know
Muhammad.
you're saying I'm
I-
wrong. And I'm like
We'll
trying to
give you a
teach you
chance
about
now,
Tony
Jared. I'll give you a
Muhammad,
chance
and
now.
you don't even want to know
I
about
have like
Tony
one or two more.
Muhammad.
Then I'm gonna try to get some text on him too. I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying-
no,
I'm
it's
not
not an
trying to, like,
attack.
team
I
up
just
on you.
wanna-
just
I
have
just
one more
wanna
thing I wanna
respond.
And
do.
I'll actually answer. I won't spin like he
So
been doing
I'm
all
not
day.
trying.
Yeah, I
like,
just want honest
we're
answers.
coming to this conversation with, like I said before this conversation, there's a million directions we could take the conversation. You're trying to like find a blame win.
This is not
Where,
a
like,
blame win.
Let me speak. Damn, dude.
I
You're
know
like,
you're not crying about that. This is not no blame win. This
Can
is
I
an
sh-
open
okay,
we're
discussion,
pointing
out-
question and answer.
So these
You can
are
either
things
answer it or
Jewish
you
people
can't,
have done.
and you can't answer questions. It's not a blame
It
thing.
doesn't mean
There's
you're
no-
responsible
even
can't
when
for
it's
answer
a
it.
victim-
questions
even when the
because you don't
victim
stop
thing-
talking.
There's
dude.
nobody more victim blaming than Jewish people. You say anything about it, oh, it's
The
anti-Semitic.
Holocaust.
Am I allowed
Oh,
to
the
speak
Holocaust.
here? Or is that
Oh, this.
Okay, let's give
oh,
it-
you
you're
don't
right.
Is it-
understand my
is
pain. Oh, you
this
don't
like,
do this.
we-
That's
we-
Jewish
we-
people. That's
we-
you.
we
Y'all the
give-
biggest
Yo,
crybabies
this is
on
the most
planet.
anti-white
We need Adam and
podcast.
Andrew
Being a peak white, I have to say this
I don't
is so
introduce the white.
discriminatory to whites. I am like, I'm like boiling in my white blood over here.
Jewish blood.
That like the peak white is
Fake
being
Jewish.
spoken over all the time like this.
This is crazy, man.
Like,
Go ahead, get it off your chest,
No, go ahead,
crybaby.
go.
Go ahead.
cry
Let-
baby.
Cut it loose. Go. Both of us if you want.
Okay, so what was I talking about
We
before?
don't even know.
Because you keep interrupting
I got
me.
more
get
questions,
eight
though. I
more-
got- I
He
got more shit to
questions
talk
All
I'm
about.
trying
right,
to
so
get off.
here's
man.
what we're
Yeah.
gonna do. Okay,
We're talking about
Hurry
the
up.
slave trade, how that was
Yeah.
blamed
This
on us.
motherfucker
and Jews
tells me
were
to hurry up.
overrepresented.
Yeah, hurry
That
up.
one bothered me. And all the anti-white books were
Yeah.
also written
oh,
by
okay, I
Jews.
remember what I
Yeah.
want to say now.
Like,
Like
bothered
off
me
the
that-
coastline, your own
Are
fellow
you guys
Ashkenazi-
capable
Uh-huh.
of going into a better world Or do you feel you need to literally like blame the Jews for every
No,
single
we want a
thing
better
that take
world, but we
place?
want the Jews to stop attacking us.
Like he wants
when
to
I see
blame
all
the
these
Jews,
No.
but then
Let
say
me
we're
answer
not
the
the
question.
Jews.
still
Wait, hold
attacking
on.
whites.
He
Here's
wants
the-
to say we're not the
here's
Jews.
No. If you for that question you asked, right? For a better world, I don't want to blame.
Do you
no-
think the
let me
world is
answer.
only better if my
Let me
people
answer.
aren't in it? Or like, what do
Well,
you think? Do you think
No,
we have
here-
any
here's-
contribution to
here's
give?
what a better
There's some
wor-
contributions.
Here's
Like
what
the
a better
Hebrew
world-
language, maybe?
Here's what a better world is. A better world is for the children of God to be in charge. Because when
Amen,
the children
brother.
of God
I'm
are
about
in
that
charge,
life. I'm
when
about
the
that
children of
life.
God are in charge, the earth would be
Hashem.
better. You know the children of God are not in charge because the earth is not better. And that's what the Bible says. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people
You speak
rejoice.
so much.
This earth is not rejoicing because you guys and your white brothers are in charge.
Yo, dude, he's saying I should be Zig Heiling.
Now,
with
but
you.
to answer the question,
Should-
wait,
should
but let
I-
me just say one more
Can I
question.
be Wanghoff after this?
Let me say
Do
one,
I? Does this
wait,
qualify
let me just
as
say one more
Wang
thing.
Hoff?
And then one more
If
thing.
I don't even get to
I
be
got
don't wanna
Jewish,
blame-
do I
and
get
we
to
don't
be
wanna
Wang Hoff? I mean,
and
come
we don't
on,
want to
man.
blame white people. We don't want to blame when we point out points of history that happened. That's not blaming. That's just talking
Pointing
about
out
history.
Jews are like
the whole
peak
point.
Wang
The whole
Hoff.
point of
Like,
going
I'm not
over
saying white
history.
people weren't involved
Like
with
when
slave trade.
people go,
Like if I said I had nothing to do with it, that
right.
would be a lie.
If
You
when
saying
people
the
talk
Jews
about
did
when
it
people
all.
talk about
No, I
the
said they did
Holocaust,
more.
How did my family
why
do
you
the
teach
slave
the
trade
Holocaust?
from the
I'm talking about-
ghetto
wait,
to
hold on,
poverty
wait.
for
I'm talking about
You know
you
what?
in
You know
particular.
what? You teach the
99%
Holocaust.
of
You
Ashkenazi
teach
Jews?
the Holocaust so you can learn the lessons
Damn,
how
I
you got
feel like
into it,
mandatory in school.
and then how you can get out of it, how you can avoid. When we teach the history of Black people in America, the reason why white people like yourselves and white Americans don't want to hear that, because there's a level of accountability that they have to take for the role that their ancestors played in it. If what happened to Black people was done by Chinese or Japanese people, Jewish and whites wouldn't have an issue with us talking about it, because then they won't feel blamed
Yeah.
I
for
don't
hearing it.
care if you
But
talk
because
about
they're
it.
blamed for hearing about it, it's like we can't get over it.
Look,
But they
I'm
never
not-
forget
I'm not
9/11.
LARPing
They
on
never forget
Germany.
Memorial Day. They never forget the holiday.
That the motherfucker
you
did that.
shouldn't,
but
you
so we
shouldn't,
don't say it in
you
a way
shouldn't
of-
forget
it's
your
not about
tragedy.
blaming. So we don't need to blame nobody. But as we build, we just want y'all to stay out of Black business.
They'll also never admit anything
Okay.
wrong. Like even Palestine, they'll be like,
Right.
no, we didn't
We
go
didn't
in
do
and
nothing
slaughter
wrong.
them.
Yeah, we
Okay,
didn't go
hold
in
on.
and slaughter- we
Hold
wasn't
on.
killing
Hold on.
babies. We
Hold
wasn't
on.
bombing them. We wasn't
For the
doing that.
record, let it show that I'm the only one who would be willing to build the third temple. But outside of that, I just want to hit on a point that Tazariak said that I really wanted to emphasize and focus on for this podcast.
Which part?
Okay.
What's that?
Building your own communities.
Mm-hmm.
Separate by race.
Like, don't hate on Jewish excellence because we build with our own and we create unbelievable economies with our own,
I respect that
and
part.
we build the nations of the world together
build
with
the nations
whoever
of the
wants to do
world.
business with us becomes billionaires. Like, people literally get
I've made a
blessed
lot- I've
through
made a lot of
people
money
who
working
have
with
my
Jews. I'm not going to
genetics.
deny that.
Yeah, people get blessed through like our genetics. People buy our doctors save lives. You know what I'm saying? How many emergency room visits in America were done by a doctor saving the life of a fellow American who was just wheeled in from either a car accident or some tragedy? Countless. And that's not to say to the exclusion of other races, that other races didn't contribute in this capacity, but Jews overwhelmingly have blessed people through our Jews are overwhelmingly blessed people, especially when it comes to money.
They might have
And there's a
overwhelmingly
reason why
caused
we're the
curses,
nation
too.
builders of the world. Now I want to share with you guys something.
Build a website you love with Wix, where your words create your brand, your opportunity, your
This book that I'm holding in my hands right here. This book is called Shemot HaTzadikim. This greater book is called Kobo LeYeshuot. It's only really printed by the Breslover Hasidim.
What is that called again?
This book is called Kol Bo Yeshuot. It means all of the salvations. And it's a book of salvations that's published by a Hasidic group called Breslov, which is my ancestral lineage through the Ashkenazi culture. I love my Hasidic ancestry. It's just, I'm so proud of it. So in this book, it says, it's called Shemot HaTzadikim. And it's just a book of lineages. This page right here, Adam, Chava, Hevel, Shet, Chanoch, Methuselah, Noach, Shem, Ve'ever. It lists the first generation, 7 generations of humanity. This book goes through every single generation in chronological and alphabetical order, only listing the right people, the righteous people who lived at that time. I'll give you an example of something extremely important that Jews contribute to humanity. It's biblical knowledge.
You don't have biblical
Hold
knowledge.
on, here is one. This 36 men that came to King David, Giborei David, Yishavam ben Achmoni, Eliezer ben Dodo Achochi, Avshai Achi Yoav, Benial ben Yoyada, Asael Achi Yoav, Elchanan ben Dodo Mibeit Lechem.
We don't need all these names. Yeah, we're talking about
This is the history of the world. You think you're a descendant of the Jews and it's important. You think that
But
the
what does that
Messiah
have
is
to do with what
descendant
we're
of
talking
King
about?
Yeah, it's just
David,
like not-
and somehow you don't think that this knowledge of King David is important for humanity.
No, what I'm asking you.
Do
what
you
you're
have
reading-
these names?
It's just not tied in.
but I
Do
just- I
you
just
have
don't need-
these names,
I just don't
Cesario?
need- I just don't need that book.
I want to share with
Yeah,
you
it's just-
more.
I-
It
but it's
goes
not-
through every
Audience doesn't
generation.
want to hear the name
Jennifer,
of every.
what
I'm
is
not
it?
going to say the
No,
name.
but what is the
I'm not going to
ultimate-
say the
what I'm-
name.
Hear what I'm
What
saying.
I'm going to say is,
No, what-
is that
all
in
I'm asking you,
every
let me
single
How does that tie
generation,
into slave
I'll
ships,
tell you,
enslaving white
Yeah,
people?
what is
because
the
in
point
every
of this?
single
It's not related.
generation,
Uh-huh.
these
It's
books,
like filibuster.
Right.
every
That's
single
all- that's all we've been
generation,
doing all day.
there is a
Yeah,
righteous
we're not
person,
Actually, we're not actually having the
20,000
conversations.
names
And
from
who's the
every single
righteous person
generation.
Okay, that's Jewish.
I'm a righteous Jew today.
No,
I'm
you're
a
not.
fallen sinner,
No, you're
but
not.
as a sinner, you're not judged by
get
how you
high.
fall.
How can
You
you?
have-
we
you're
have George
judged by how you
Soros.
get back
We
up.
We have George
I'm not
Soros.
a-
We
You
have.
are a
drug
drug
addict.
addict. You are a drug addict.
I could choose to not engage
You
in
are a
anything
drug
that I want.
addict.
What drug do I do?
You told me you smoke weed. You took you.
Okay,
do
it's so
gummies or whatever
marijuana.
it is.
I,
You are a
I
drug
sometimes eat marijuana
Right.
gummies.
You're a drug addict.
Why does that make me a drug
How
addict?
can a drug addict be righteous?
Why is that? Why, if I eat gummies occasionally, why does
You
that
get
make me
high.
a drug
Okay,
addict?
so what you're saying is you get high.
If I get high a week on Friday night, does it make me an alcoholic? So if I
But
eat a
you
gummy,
get high
if I
every
eat
day.
that's crazy
Did
logic.
you take gummies before you came here?
I did take a gummy today,
He's
yeah.
high as
Drug
fuck right
addict.
now.
But that's not a drug
Real
addict.
quick. Let's
That's
get back
not
on
a drug
topic.
addict. That was me
I
coming
want to
here.
hit one more thing.
I
and
can
ask-
If I was
literally-
scared to death.
Real quick,
He said, "Let me get some
I
strength. Let me get
literally,
some
I
strength."
literally don't. I wasn't even gonna eat it.
appreciate you
I
coming.
wasn't even gonna
Yeah.
eat a
Most
gummy,
Jews-
but I
most
thought
Jews
this was
are
such
too
a
scared to talk.
ridiculous conversation. I needed to. I needed something to
now
make
it's
me laugh on the
ridiculous,
inside.
Real quick.
It is
Right.
ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
Do one more
I'm not
thing.
even
I
allowed to
asked-
share my lineage on
let's just-
camera like I just did. You know, but
That's
at least I
not
got
your
the book.
lineage.
No one wants
It
to
is.
hear
I can
that.
tell
It's
you who
not-
in this book
you
I'm
can read a
descendant
book.
of.
It's not
That's
relevant
not
in
your
our
lineage.
context. No,
We
we're
live in
trying to
a
have a
totally
debate.
totally imperative
read a
world.
book.
I'm trying to read this book
Yeah,
for the
we can-
podcast.
Do
Oh,
it.
this is me in the book.
Read it.
Bob,
No,
hold on.
read
Read
this
it.
shit.
I'll make one more thing. I'll just use. Then I'll try to. Find
Are
a
you
couple
gonna
things
throw
to-
my book
then
away?
I'm gonna look for some.
If you're gonna
attacks.
throw my
No,
book away,
no,
then I'll
no.
give it to somebody
No,
else. Do you have a
I'm-
copy of my book?
I'm not going
You
to
do?
look.
I don't
Indian
think
giver.
so.
You
Here,
better.
I'll make you a
better
deal.
get
If you're
Indian
gonna
giver.
throw away my
I never
book,
said I was going to throw
okay,
it away.
if you should read it.
Hold on.
It'll teach you about
I
Judaism.
got one more thing I want
And
to add
Torah
now for Jews.
and
Then
the
I'm
Bible.
gonna do some attack on the. I'll look for
Go
some
for it.
attacks
There
on
you
them.
go.
Another attack. Just back to.
It'll
Right.
help you be a
I
better
was just
Jew.
really
this book.
bothered when I realized all the white people bashing white people when all of a sudden they attacked like, oh no, I'm Jewish. So that
Right.
really bothered me.
Right.
That's when I first started having a problem. But what are your thoughts on hip hop culture and who created that? Because Ashkenazi Jews were the main people that were deciding who to push,
Mhm.
and they pushed people that were encouraging to kill black people, to do drugs, to be.
I'm glad you brought that out. So hip hop as a culture at first was not like what it is today.
Exactly.
Hip hop culture was more so a form of expression.
Exactly.
It was music we played, we danced, we would talk about
Can you
what's
freestyle?
going on in the community, XYZ like that. Then you had the Jewish community come into it.
Another victimhood.
And when
but is it
you
wrong?
come into the Jewish community, like Leo Cohen said, he wouldn't let his kids listen to this music.
Is that the
Leo
guy?
Cohen
But he
said
wanted black
he
kids
wouldn't
to
let if a hip hop artist was rapping positive music, he wouldn't push him.
Who's a black
because that
artist
won't
today?
sell.
Who's a black
So
artist
what they
today that does
push-
positive music?
So what they
That's
decided
the
to
point,
do
none.
is
Or not.
push
Who was
the
back in the
violent.
day?
And so when you take
Tribe Called
people that are
Quest.
trying to get out of their poverty,
And that's funny. I don't know if the brother was trying to be sarcastic or was he just trying to, make a fair point. But the brother's making a very fair point in regards to music. He said if there was positive, they wouldn't push it. The brother said, well, what instances of positive rappers do we do have? Quite a few, actually. Common was a rapper that I would say would be, a positive rapper. Lupe Fiasco, KRS-One, all of them. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we don't hear them that much from them. The Andre 3000s of the world. So I do agree to that point that if the conscious, rap, was pushed, and that may actually change the mentality of the people as far as how we act in some instances. When we look at drill music, that definitely had an effect on our communities as a whole. Are we products of our environment, or do we have choices? I'm always the advocate of we are not products of our environments, and everything is a choice. It's a choice, whether good or bad. Let's go.
At a time in the 80s and 90s, getting out of their poverty, you can have, like you said, a Tribe Called Quest. You can have Boogie Down Productions. You can have
Boogie Down Productions.
You can have X-Clan. You had a lot of black people that
you're blaming. You're saying Public Enemy is like Jewish violence. I mean, come on.
You, just you, building your app on Base 44. Describe it.
Come on,
music is subjective.
Dude,
music is not one way. So music is not meant to just be all positive. You can have love music. You can have hardcore music, but there was always a lane for everything.
Yeah.
When the gangster rap started coming out, that's when they start slowly eliminating every other form of music.
Big shout out to
made it cool.
Big shout
to
out
kill each other and
say
then
the N-word, to call each other that,
right.
to like
exactly. So
no other race calls themselves an insult.
You guys are having a bonding
now
moment
that's
right
where
now. I'm gonna
that's
let you
where
bond
that
over
part
this.
comes into play, and the importance of understanding that is so we can stop allowing them to control the music that we make. Even in the early 80s and 90s, when music was coming out, there was a term called no sellout.
Yeah.
And it was about not selling out your music to make money. And then what the so-called Jew did was just push money into your
I did
face.
it.
But
I did
you
it.
had to
No,
speak.
it was me. I did it. I called Leor Cohen. I called Leor Cohen, and I was
for you to
like,
make this money,
yo,
you had to
Leor,
rap this way.
make them do it.
So people chose the
It's
money.
the Jews, Leor. It's not you.
How many?
No,
how many
Leor.
bucks does that cost?
It's not
if you
just
take a person
no,
that can't
Leor.
pay
You
their
can't get
bills,
all the credit. You have to get all the Jews have to get the credit.
We're dropping too much.
All the Jews have to get the credit, Leor.
right now. That
And
he's
so when you take a poor kid,
all the Jews. Hold on, I got a call coming in.
And he says, "Okay, I want to."
So the link is open. The link is open in the chat. If you want to come on,
If I make
comment,
you
better, George.
stop the
They're gonna
video.
give me
It better
money.
be.
And we'll
It better
comment
be
on
all
the
of
video.
us, George.
Yes, let's
I'm
go.
gonna
If
tag
you
you
want
in
to
a
jump
second.
on this, open the
And so
channel.
that's what the Jew
block
Let them
them.
guilt
and
free.
white
Don't get
people
to do it, George
Finish
Soros.
this video.
We're gonna
Then
tag
close
other people in a
on
second,
that.
too.
like in the
Go ahead.
Bible, it says oppression makes a wise man mad. And when you have a people in poverty and oppressed, they will do things that they normally wouldn't do.
I get
When
that.
you look in the history of the Jewish and German wars, you will see that there were Jewish people
Fighting
that
with
would
Hitler.
work with the Germans.
Mhm.
Because, and they would say, well, we was poor, we was in poverty, we was in under that. And the thing about Jewish people,
So the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. If you want to jump on, you can. You can go over this video. Any other thing that you want to go over. If not, I'm gonna probably end the live stream. Give a couple moments to see if anybody just want to jump on.
Trying to douse my flame. Yes, they can try. Yes, they can. It'll douse my flame.
So tonight we have navigated the ancient currents of the Hebrew tongue, peeling back layers of tradition and linguistics to find the sound that shook the foundations of the world. Whether the breath of Yahweh or the resonant vowels of Jehovah, one thing is clear. The power of a name lies not just in a sound, but in the conviction of those who dare to speak it. Fighters have clashed, the evidence has been laid bare. The ultimate verdict that belongs to history and to you. I am King Jay, and this has been the Titans, the King's Chamber, and Titans Debate League. Walk with power, seek the truth, and never stop questioning the echoes of the past.
Keep the heat in the topics. They wanna douse my flame. If I pull it out, it's a profit. These scriptures keep flowing while teaching disciples. You can catch me in the gauntlets with a roster full of monsters. If I pull it out, it's a profit. This the sound of insurrection. Keep a running the weapon. Blowing loud, it's a session. Lighters up, shake met the goddess. Pour out effervescence, be the runner-up, the next contestant. Not hearing you haters, ain't no blocking my blessings. They try to douse my flame. Ain't no stopping us now.